Bob Greenfield, Alumni Coliseum, is Montana Tech getting ready to take on Dakota State. Frontier Conference East Division Conference matchup. Paul Panisko, Ron Haskett here on a really nice Saturday afternoon. Haskett, how are you, brother?
Oh, couldn't be better. Just finally getting into football weather here. Just over 50 degrees. Sun's poking its head out here today, and looking forward to a good game.
This should be.
Tech, of course, is on a roll, 5-0. They look good. They've kind of surprised me. You know, the last two opponents that they had just would refuse to let him run the ball. And Jarrett Wilson there at quarterback, and the offensive staff has answered the call. Yeah. And he's thrown for over 500 yards these last two games, and he's been really efficient, isn't turning the ball over, and his receivers are happy.
That they are. That they are. He's feeding them a lot. And on the other side of that, obviously, you know, what we were expecting and what we were excited about, and I'm going to loop you into my feelings, is when Jarrett Wilson was signed. You know, we saw what he did up north and what he was able to do in high school. And when that translated, when the game slowed down for him, when he was able to look off his receivers, and then if not, just pull the ball in and run. He is such a threat, and we're starting to see him get comfortable. The game's slowing down for him a little bit, and it's been awful fun to watch that transition and watch him get more and more comfortable in his game.
He's getting comfortable moving vertically.
Yep.
And then they actually utilized him, you know, with some quarterback lead draw and isolation type plays. You know, when you need to move the ball, getting, you know, that extra blocker out there in front of him. I was really happy to see that, you know, after watching the recast of the game last week. Just using him as that, you know, the tailback with a couple lead blockers, picked up some huge first downs, and And a couple of his escapes, getting vertical pressure. Of course, he ran for over 100 yards last week as well. And just the vertical pressure, you know, it's hard to run and outrun a lot of these defenses side to side, but he's athletic enough to get going north-south, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, again, welcome here as we are on Digger Vision. Paul Panisko, Ron Haskett, our tremendous crew here on a Saturday afternoon.
And I should add, you could tell he was having fun.
He was having fun.
Yeah, he was having a good time.
He was having a good time.
It's almost like a high school flashback, yeah. You know, some of those big runs he had. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was there. Just the idea of getting games slowing down, getting comfortable, getting ready to roll. This Montana Tech team, the football started at Montana Tech in 1902. Dakota State started football in 1908. And this is the first time we've ever played. This is it. I mean, it's incredible to me. And obviously, we're a little ways apart. I mean, it's not one of those you look at a map and go, oh, gosh, we're right there. But to think that we have both had football for, 120 years and we have never played until now is just crazy to me.
12-hour drive. I talked to a couple of their fans on the way into the stadium. And is Dakota State, did it used to be Dakota Wesleyan?
No, I believe Dakota Wesleyan is still.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I told some lies in the tailgate then.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But Dakota State, started in the South Dakota Intercollegiate Conference from 1917 to 2000. They joined the DAC when the DAC started in 2000. We're in that until 2011. And, of course, they were in the North Star from 2013 to 2025. And they join us here in the Frontier Conference this year. So I assume you did the same thing I did and sat down and watched the Southern Oregon game. What did you take away from Dakota State watching them play Southern Oregon?
Rock fight. That's what I took away. I mean, a low scoring, right? 11-10. Southern Oregon just had a blooper towards the end of the game. They in the shotgun, in the shadow of their own goalposts. They got an early snap, caught the quarterback off guard. They got the safety that moved it from 10-6 to 10-8, and then Dakota State got a nice stop, and they got the ball. They had to go 65 yards with 1:30. They were the benefit of a couple big plays and a couple big penalties that got them into field goal range, and they were able to execute in 12 seconds left. They kicked the ball through the uprights and won 11-10. But, yeah, it was ugly. Dakota State, you'll see them today on offense. At the snap of the football, they'll look a lot like Montana Tech. They'll bring in H-backs, multiple tight ends, a lot of different sets, but they just don't move it around like Tech does. You know, Tech does a lot of shifting, a lot of motion. But, Dakota State, Preston Iverson, their tailback, is a capable back. They like to throw the ball to him out of the backfield.
Yes.
And
he's one of their leading receivers.
Yeah.
He has the second most catches on their roster out of the backfield.
I'm excited for this Montana Tech defensive front today, mainly because, if there's one knock I would have on Dakota State after watching them was Hedrick is he's a nice player, nice athlete there at quarterback, but he holds the ball a lot of times a little too long, and he doesn't really run with it a ton. And so Montana Tech and that defensive front's going to get some opportunities to get some hats on him, get some pressures, get some sacks. And if you just revolve into that Montana Tech defense, they are playing great football. They're fast, and they can all hit. They can all tackle. They're just having an exceptional year. And I just keep going back to the culture up here and what they're doing right, because they lose 26 seniors last year off this Montana Tech team, and they're 5-0 right now, and they look like they haven't missed a beat.
Yeah, and in some respects, might even be better, which, you hate to say, it's certainly not a knock against last year, but this team is firing on all cylinders. And when I compare them to like Southern, looking at that game again, Southern got tremendous pressure on this Dakota State team. It didn't feel to me like they blitzed a ton. They weren't selling the farm to get it to them. It felt like they had a 4-man front, maybe bring a 5th guy here and there. They ended up with 6 sacks in that ball game, a whole lot of quarterback pressures. And that seems to me like where I'm interested to see how they line up against one another here today, because from my perspective, Tech's front 4 and the front 7 are better than Southern Oregon's.
Right.
And I'll be interested to see just how that matchup lines up.
Yeah, and Southern was good in coverage, so a lot of those sacks were coverage sacks. But again, I think Trey Hedrick was, I think he was just holding the ball a little too long. If I was, I got to coach that position for 3 or 4 years at the end of my coaching career. And, that's always a topic of conversation. Sometimes the throwaway is the best play you can make. And he just didn't do a lot of that for that offense, But, yeah, Southern played a good game. It was a tough loss to take. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. They got a nice stadium there
in
Madison. A lot of it reminded me a little bit of a home game here. But
at first I'm watching, I'm like, wow, that's a really nice facility. The track right kind of behind it, if you will. Like I was very impressed and really excited to get them into the fold here as Montana Tech taking on Dakota State. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll pay some bills. We'll come back, and we're going to talk about these two programs. We're going to talk about the Frontier Conference East standings and a whole lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here in just a few.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. Frontier Conference East matchup between the Digs and the Trojans. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, as we make our way through it. So the Montana Tech is 5-0. You know, they're currently ranked number 5 in the country, but we all know the NAIA Top 25 means absolutely nothing. It's not taken into account for anything in the postseason at all. It's basically just for people like you and I to talk about. So we're 5 in the country. Great. But what does matter now is from this point forward. You've got some big wins behind you, but when it boils down to it, when we're talking playoffs, now is where it matters. If you win the East, you go to the playoffs. And that's certainly where things stand. So from a coaching perspective, it's real easy in the locker room to go, guess what, guys? Everybody's 0-0. You know, anybody in the East right now can go to the playoffs. And that's where it starts. And the Frontier Conference East looks like this for those that have been around it a little bit. You have Montana Tech, Dakota State, Mayville State, Dickinson State, Rocky Mountain College, Valley City State, and Montana State Northern are the teams in the East this year. And, of course, Montana Tech, we'll see them here as we continue. So Montana Tech enters this game in the East as the highest scoring team in the East, averaging 33.2 points per game. Dakota State is next at 26.5 points per game. Montana Tech with 22 touchdowns. Dakota State with 14. Then from there, Mayville State averaging 24 a contest. Dickinson at 22 points a contest. And down to Northern at 11 a game. So Montana Tech, Dakota State, the two highest scoring teams on the eastern side. And we'll see if that's affected greatly here today.
Yeah, absolutely. They're taking a lot of pride in their defense at Dakota State. They've been stingy with the yards given up this year, and I liked them. And I'll tell you what I really liked about watching them and then running their roster. Primarily last week, they were a three-man front. These guys, they're all seniors. They're all wide bodies. They're active. They're good pass rushers. Mm-hmm. But, again, they're all seniors. And middle linebacker, Terran Sir, I believe is his name, a really nice player. And that's what I told a few people this week. I said, what you have to remember, you know, what gets lost in college football is what grade are they? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. When you're a senior and you're playing, you're starting, that means you're good. And the reason is they've absorbed 3 or 4 recruiting classes, and they're recruiting guys to come in and beat you out.
Yep.
They are. And so if you're holding that spot, it means you're good. So I anticipate them to be solid on defense. It's a really, really senior-laden defense, and they're pretty stingy. They're pretty stingy. They're active. They're good tacklers. So Montana Tech's going to have to work to move the ball today, but they've had to work all year. And what can't be understated is you go back to what is going to get them to the playoffs. This is why coaches say just take one game at a time. There's no better example than what you just described.
Yeah.
You can only worry about your next opponent because what can't be understated is what Montana Tech's done thus far. Uh-huh. They beat Western. They beat Carroll. They beat College Idaho. They beat Southern Oregon. You know, those are big wins. And yes. And what gets lost in that is Rocky's tough. You know, they beat Rocky. Rocky loses their quarterback, a little over 50% into the game here, and they have to go back to Holcomb. And Holcomb played really well after he came in the game. But Rocky's solid and kind of overlooked.
Agreed.
Yeah. So what they've done so far though is pretty outstanding. They've beat really good programs, and they're 5-0, and so. And I just love how they're playing defense. I just love it.
And they're getting wins in different ways. Special teams right now has to be the best special teams unit in the country. Across the board, it doesn't matter if we're talking kickoff, punt return. You look at this Montana Tech special teams unit. They have scored a kick return for a touchdown. The first kickoff of the season, Torgerson took to the house. Torgerson also has a punt returned to the house in the same game. This team has blocked a punt. They have blocked a field goal. They have blocked PATs. They have done everything. Fake field goal. We had a fake field goal pass last week that was converted and off and running as Casey Counsman had himself a pass that went. The special teams unit has really been firing at the top of their game right now. And it kind of gets overlooked, that part of the game, a lot. But boy, I'll tell you that the amount of momentum alone that the special teams unit has given this team is crazy.
You were talking to the king of overlooking special teams. I always did. I always did. But I tell you, the year that Montana Tech is having in special teams, it's impossible to go unnoticed. It's literally won a few games for them. And but it's a lot of fun too, because those fakes you talk about in returns, those are big plays. Those get the crowd excited and all that stuff. But it's this coach by committee special teams units. Each assistant kind of takes special teams, whether it's kickoff return, or punt return, PAT field goal. But you can see they're putting the work into it. Let's just put it that way.
Well, the one angle, the one I'm really interested, the battle I'm really interested in seeing here today is Montana Tech's run game against Dakota State's defense.
Yeah.
As you look at the yardage here on your screen, but the one thing I'm really interested in that one, because Southern Oregon, when we played Southern Oregon, didn't really commit to the run much. Gunnar Yates is out for them, and how long he's out, I don't know. But, of course, All-American running back, tremendous guy in the backfield. And when Tech played Southern, they had another running back in, but they never really – it felt like it was, all right, fine, I guess we'll run the ball. There wasn't a concerted effort to run the ball. Yeah. And it felt the same when Southern played Dakota State to me. I mean, it felt like it was a part of the game that they were just going to give the ball to him every once in a while, just so they didn't know they were going to pass every down. I feel like this is the first time Dakota State is going to see a north-south just run you over running back. That they've done really nice. Their defense has been really good against the run to this point. I'm interested to see which of those kind of pushes the other, whether it's the Tech running game that takes the advantage or the Dakota State defense that is able to stack up the Montana Tech team.
Yeah, Tech has proved in the last 2 weeks especially that they're capable of throwing the ball, but they want to impose their will with you on the ground. There's no doubt about it. You can see it by set personnel, shifts, adjustments, motions. You can see it. They really got their quarterback involved in the running game last week, but yeah, they're going to run the ball. But their hands been forced the last 2 weeks, and they've responded by kind of unleashing Jarrett Wilson a little bit, letting him get back. And what I like about Wilson throwing the ball the last couple of weeks is he's throwing the ball on time. Whether he's getting pressure or not, that's one thing, but he's throwing the ball on time, and he's finding some wide open receivers. And when they're not wide open, he's putting the ball right on the dot, and that's real encouraging.
The other part of that, as his first season as a starter, the other part of that I love is that I noticed last week especially was looking off receivers. Mm-hmm. Where he'd have eyes going to the right side of the field, the safeties would bite, and then he'd just swing over to the left, and that's another one that is just huge. What that'll do to a defense is a monster difference.
That's good coaching, because when you come out of high school, it's just, by and large, high school quarterbacks run for their life, right? I mean, it's just not that good professional looking pass protection that you watch on Saturdays and Sundays. It's just not. So getting comfortable to go from read to read to read, and the biggest thing is not trying to escape by running the perimeter. The biggest thing is getting back, getting set, stepping up in the pocket, letting a lot of that outside rush just run by you, and keeping your eyes downfield and getting to number 2 and number 3. And you can really see he's just kind of growing up before our eyes here. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, we are getting ready for the start of this one as Montana Tech taking on Dakota State. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, our great crew here on a Saturday. We'll take a break, hear from our sponsors. We'll come back. We'll talk about some individuals, some numbers, and let's see where this one's going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here to Bob Green after this.
Describes you. You were doubted. We were doubted.
You come to Tech to play a big time game as a league competitor. That's all you ask for, right? the opportunity to prove yourself, but most importantly,
If there's no pressure on you, if you aren't doubted, are you really that relevant?
Hey, Dave Brennan
Pressure
here.
conquers most.
One of the new
pressure
options
on
for
your
model year
family.
2024
Pressure on your
is going to be an
teammates.
open
Pressure
spoke
to
gauge
win.
wheel.
Pressure
That open
to
spoke
compete.
gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planners. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area.
states.
For more information on this new offering of
battle
open spoke
through the
gauge
years
wheels,
at the
visit
top of the
your
conference.
local Case IH dealer.
Has a man downfield. It is caught at the 15. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
Each program with the tradition of touchdowns scored in tormenting pressure to reclaim what's theirs.
Wilson dropping back, drops it off underneath. Touchdown, Michelotti. Wilson wants the deep ball. He has a man down to the 25-yard line. Keese gets it. Keese, he's into the end zone, and he is just gone. Touchdown, Johnson.
Undefeated versus undefeated, with only one to remain at the top.
We are back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech, getting ready for the Diggs to come on the field. Kyle Torgerson and his hype video playing on the jumbo as we speak. Jared Wilson down to the 12-yard line. Yeah, I mean, he's so special. I love that kid. They're such a great family.
Great imagination, and it's wrapped around sports. You know, you got a combination of a really good athlete that played everything and great artistic ability. It is good stuff. He's really talented. He's having a lot of fun doing it too. You see him running, across the field here and all that. He's got a big smile on his face. Still looks like he, of course, could play.
As we get ready for this one, let's take a look at individuals, shall we? We'll start things off for Dakota State. Dakota State, as you mentioned, led by Hedrick at quarterback. Hedrick is 42 of 63 so far on the year, completing 67% of his passes, which certainly is a good clip. He's thrown for 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the year for Hedrick. Eaton has also taken some reps at quarterback for Dakota State. He has thrown for 366 yards, 58% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Eaton. Iverson on the ground, as you mentioned earlier, 51 carries, 254 yards, and he is averaging 63.5 yards per game. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. Eaton, when he is in at quarterback, is their second leading rusher. And then Davis has 28 carries, 74 yards through the air. 2 guys in double digits as far as receptions go. Boggs has 13 catches for 265 yards. And Iverson, out of the backfield, as we talked about earlier, has 10 catches for 99 yards and 1 score for Dakota State.
Yeah, they like to go to Iverson out of the backfield. A lot of times that's Hedrick's first look. Southern Oregon did a nice job with the back out of the backfield. It's a constant pressure on a defense. After being wrapped around this game for all those years, both as a player and as a coach, all you could ever hear Bob Green say was, "Watch the back out." So it's always you would think it's always accounted for, but they'll expose you a little bit, and Hedrick will check down. He's just, I think the challenge for that Trojan offense today is to have Hedrick get the ball out on time more today, because he's going to get some pressure. We know Montel Allen, the Montana Tech defensive coordinator, he's timely with pressure. He's got good pressure packages, brings those inside linebackers, brings those outside linebackers. He loops, he stunts. So he's going to see a lot of looks today. So the pressure is going to be on him to get the ball delivered.
On the other side for Montana Tech, of course, they are led by Jared Wilson. Wilson with 81 throws. He's completed 70% of them, as he has 57 catches on 81 throws, 777 yards. He has 9 touchdowns and 1 interception. He has a 74-yarder as his long this year. From there, you're looking at running backs, of course, Keese Johnson. Been kind of quiet as of late. You'd have to think he's chomping at the bit, don't you think?
He's faced 2 programs that are not going to let him run the ball.
That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And we have our national anthem, so with it, we will take a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back after this.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Andy Larson with our national anthem. And as always, if you're betting national anthem, because everybody does these days, you always go with the under on Andy. Always the under. You never bet the over on Andy Larson.
You're always an over guy, too.
I am an over guy. Yep. All right, so Montana Tech taking on the Trojans of Dakota State's Ron Haskett. What's important right out of the gate for either or both of these teams?
Oh, for Tech, we're going to see, where they're going to start on offense or defensive here. I think Montana Tech defensively, I think you feel comfortable. I think, 5 games into this, beating 5 really good programs. You've got to have a lot of confidence in your defense and what you're doing. You're packaging things right. They're playing a lot of bodies. They're getting a lot of bodies in and out, especially at that defensive front. You see some nickel stuff. You see some dime stuff, but they're you have to feel confident. So it'd be fun to watch, to get up here and practice and watch Montel Allen continue to tinker, with different stunt packages and stuff, because, these college coaches just eat tape, 7 days a week. And, they're going to have a plan for a lot of these packages. So, you got to like yourself defensively if you're Montana Tech, and offensively for Dakota State
He called tells.
You've got a challenge ahead of you. Let's just put it that way. You want to get your back involved. The identity of a lot of those Midwestern teams is they want to ground and pound. It's going to be tough for them today. So there's going to be a lot of pressure put on Trey Heddick there at quarterback, reading, getting rid of the football on time. And then Montana Tech offensively, I'm just curious to see how Dakota State's going to approach them defensively, because I'm not going to say they're vanilla on defense. They primarily were an odd man front. 3 down guys, 4 linebackers, a lot of umbrella coverage. They will blitz, and they'll bring, some blitz packages and stuff, but they're hit and read guys, just like a lot of that Midwestern stuff. They just hit, read, shed tackles. They play good with their hands. They get ample pressure on a quarterback, but they'll really test your patience and coverage. And, I think they'll try and confuse Wilson today, when he is trying to throw the ball, but, I'm just curious to see if Montana Tech can get back to 100-plus yards out of their tailback, Wykees Johnson, because he's had a tough few weeks. And it isn't the effort that's questioned. I tell you what, that guy has been hit and hit and hit.
He has had the tar beat out of him, and in every yard he has gotten, he has earned plus some. I mean, he just fights so hard for yardage, and I'll tell you, everybody has been very ready for number 23. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets a little bit of daylight here today. And I'm also same thing with Milanowski. I thought Milanowski the last 2 weeks, when everybody's keyed up on Wykees, it really feels like Milanowski has had a little bit of daylight at times, and they're similar, but they're just different enough in the way they run that it is they are definitely different guys trying to get in front of us. So I'll be interested to see how much of both we see here today, and kind of go from there.
I really like how they're using Dylan Milanowski to bring him in. It's a fresh set of eyes there in the backfield. It's a tough thing to do. Just come in, about every third series. It seems that you see him, or occasionally after a long drive, you'll see him come in and spell Wykees a little bit, but he does a great job, and he's outstanding in special teams. I don't mean to go there, but he does a nice job, and a different set of eyes in the backfield. Maybe just a hair shiftier. He'll test that perimeter more, where Wykees is he's a downhill cutback guy, and he's got plenty of shake himself, and I love his balance.
So we're ready for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Montana Tech taking on Dakota State. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon. Frontier Conference East matchup between these two. I still, how long do you think it's going to take us to get used to that, the idea of Frontier East and West in football?
Well, it's kind of cool. Right?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's the hardest part to grasp about this season so far is this is their first conference game.
Exactly.
It's that's just weird.
So it is a conference matchup between these two. So my understanding is we will play 2 years as is. We'll have home and away, so the schedule will just be flipped over. And then after that, Montana Tech will go to the West, and either Western or Carroll will move to the East for 2 years, and we'll continue to rotate in the middle.
And it's a good concept. I like how they're doing that portion of it. I mean, the travel, if you expand your conference that big, the travel is going to be a problem. I could not believe that Montana Tech flew to Ashland. Boy, have things changed.
I've had so many people bring that up.
Ashland was just past halfway to Humboldt when we used to drive.
Man, and I'll tell you, some people are very, very hurt by that. Baranowski, blast.
One of the biggest differences thus far coming into today. Do you notice that wind's out of the north now? It isn't coming out of the southwest. Yeah. It's coming out of the northwest. So fall and winter have arrived.
That they have.
I don't want to read my fortune.
I'm not going to yet. So Baranowski blasts that one through the back of the end zone. It was something we didn't even touch on in special teams when we talked about it. I mean, there's just no returns. So Heddick will take it out of the shotgun. One back on his right. Montana Tech brings four to the front line. Heddick looking right, airs it up. And that one is going to be bobbled and dropped. Great coverage out on the edge that time. Montana Tech getting a hand on that one for the Digs is going to be David Lowry.
Lowry just, he showed a little bit of different coverage technique there. He jumped inside, told me he was in man, and he just played the player. He saw that ball come out of there, and as soon as the ball hit the receiver's hands, he went up and raked through it. Do we get a penalty here? Probably roughing the passer, maybe?
Yeah, the flagging back must be the case.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty, so that must be the case. So a 15-yard penalty. Sorry, I did not even see it. So 1st and 10 here for Dakota State. One back, three receivers, one back at home. So Dakota State's, the Trojans with the ball at their 40-yard line.
Montana Tech with a four-man surface. We've seen that a lot this year.
Kovic shifts out defensively. Tech going to bring some pressure. Heddick stands in the pocket. He's going to look deep down the center. And that one is going to fall incomplete.
Good pass protection. Montana Tech with a four-man rush. They ran a little stunt and looped to Tell Arthur here to the field side. And up front, the Trojans picked it up and gave Heddick plenty of time to look downfield. Good coverage in that secondary by the Orediggers.
2nd down and 10 here for Dakota State. And they'll line up with an H-back off the left side, three receivers. Run package straight ahead, not much there. A gain of 2.
Montana Tech was locked in zero-man coverage. They got a lot of eyeballs on that backfield for Preston Iverson. They had Jace Thompson walked up in man coverage to the short side, and Peyton Gonzer out here walked up at safety. So, yeah, they're just putting the onus on their defensive backs. They didn't bring pressure. They're just letting the defensive front hit gaps and just reading and reacting out of that linebacker core.
3rd down and 8 after a gain of 2 for Iverson. Iverson, a junior out of Hot Springs, South Dakota. 3rd down and 8, Heddick. Montana Tech, 4 guys in the defensive front. Motion from the slot. Heddick dropping back, blitz coming. Heddick delivers downfield, has his man at the 45-yard line, across the 35-30 to the sidelines and out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Nice pitch and catch that time. The offensive front picked up the blitz, and they were able to get it downfield.
Yeah, they got good vertical pressure on those safeties. Montana Tech getting caught in man, but good vertical pressure on those safeties, getting them out of there. No linebacker, no underneath coverage presence there. Pretty easy throw and catch if you pick up that blitz, and the Trojans did.
1st down and 10 here for the Trojans. Man in motion, left to right. Ball at the 24. Snap is high, and quarterback's going to keep it himself. Did that look like a product more of where the snap was than a design run, or what do you got?
Well, I don't know. Heddick kind of reacted with the ball like it was just a little quarterback lead draw. But, he just, maybe it happens so much, it's just become second nature, too, if you miss that handoff in the backfield. But Iverson didn't wait around for the ball, so that would tell me he was the lead blocker in that case.
Second down and 8 here for the Trojans. Ball at the Montana Tech 22-yard line. The opening possession here of this football game. Montana Tech has not trailed at any point this year.
See a lot of this set on tape on South Dakota. We used to call this just a wing.
To the right side, going nowhere. Right back to the line of scrimmage and no more on the run to the right side.
Till Arthur, just a good quick read there out of middle linebacker. Just having a great year. Really happy for him. Yeah. Really happy for him. You know, he's played a ton the last 2 years, right? I don't know that he was ever actually dubbed a starter, but he does a lot for that defense. He leads this defense. He stepped in for Wyant there and has just had an exceptional year and plays a little bit on the offensive side of the ball in short yardage as well.
Third down and 8 here for the Trojans. Ball at the Montana Tech 22-yard line. If the Digs can hold them here, you'd be looking at about a 37, maybe 38-yard field goal attempt. Man in motion on fly motion. Heddick dropping back. Has time. Airs it up. And that's going to fall incomplete. He was looking downfield that time for his receiver in Ford.
Yeah, Heddick didn't look real comfortable. He threw that off his back foot. He never really got pressure. You can almost see that he's been talked to about getting the ball delivered a little earlier. But, yeah, he seemed a little bit impatient and uncomfortable on his back foot there.
So a 39-yard attempt here for the Trojans.
A little bit of contact downfield by the receiver and the defensive back, but no call.
Villanueva is 3 of 3 on field goal attempts this year. And this one is blocked. The Digs block another one. Montana Tech will block another field goal attempt.
What I didn't talk about in the pregame that I really wanted to talk about. Now, that's Peyton Gonzer, I think, that got through and blocked that. But the safety play at Montana Tech has been so good this year.
Right up the gut.
The safety, both Jace Thompson and Peyton Gonzer, just kind of leading that defense from the deep halves, just playing really good football, and they are physical.
Jared Wilson will bring out the offense. Wykees Johnson in the backfield with him. They block another field goal attempt. We're scoreless. Montana Tech with their first offensive possession. Torgerson in motion. They're going to give it to him on the comeback on the fly sweep. He'll turn the corner, little shake and bake at the 35 and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 6.
Speaking of having fun, is he having a good time or what? 16 catches in his last 2 games for over 300 yards.
Let's start here. He's like the starting point guard on the basketball team. What? If we run this thing backwards, the only reason he's playing football is because his brother got hurt, and his oldest brother came to him and asked him to play football.
It was like he was the best kept secret in the state.
Second down and 3 officially for the Digs. Wilson dropping back, looking left the whole way. Pump fake once. Now he's going to go. He has some separation. Wilson across the 45, out of bounds at midfield.
There you go. His eyes are downfield there, and he just felt it. He stepped up, felt it, escaped. Even when he started to escape, you could see he was still looking down for something to pop.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps that thing cocked and loaded, like he's ready to throw that ball and then gone. Great looking play that time by Jared Wilson, just part of what makes him dangerous back there. 3 receivers split to the wide side of the field for Wilson. Dakota State 4 on the defensive front. Looks like pressure possibly from the right side. Handoff going to go to Wykees Johnson. Johnson bounces off tackle. He'll get 3. Boy, Dakota State saying that ball came out. And they'll say that's the case. So a fumble will go to the Trojans.
Yeah, Johnson, he made contact at the line of scrimmage, then bounced and tried to go. Must have maybe got a fist through that football
here.
Good
angle here from the backside. Wykees Johnson. See him come through the line. Boy, it looked like the helmet right on it. Yep. Boy, leading in with that helmet, the defender put it right on the football, and it jumped right out.
Speaking of jumped right out, that's what jumped out on me after watching that Southern Oregon game. There's some really, really good tacklers and hitters on this defense for the Trojans.
First down and 10 for Heddick and company. Trojans get the football back on the turnover. Trips receivers right. Heddick looking right the whole way. Quick turn route. Nice little stutter step across the 45 to the 44, a gain of 9.
Made that look pretty effortless,
didn't
he?
Boy, really did. Nice pitch and catch that time. And with the reception is going to be Boggs. Boggs, their leading receiver. He came into the game with 13 catches. He adds 1 more to that total here. Boggs, a junior from Beaumont, Texas.
I think that's where both teams got to be offensively. Mix it up on first down. Get into some play action pass or some straight drop back on first down.
2nd and 2. Hedrick puts Boggs in motion. Snap a little high, hand off to the tailback, and he might fight back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Yeah, quick rake of the I didn't see a flag, but it looked like there might have been a quick rake of the face mask there in the backfield on Boggs. I couldn't see who got across the line of scrimmage. I may have gotten away with one.
Iverson with the carry, back to the line of scrimmage, no more. 2 carries, 2 yards for him today. 3rd down and 2 here for the Trojans. Crowd getting loud.
What's the play? They run or pass it?
They're going to run.
I think they're going to throw it.
Okay. 3rd down and 2. Iverson in the backfield. And
now I really think they're going to throw it.
Got the tight end up moving.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
And that will be a 5-yard penalty and back him up. What was 3rd and 2, now 3rd and 7.
I like how he jumped and then tried to make it look like he was going in motion. That's good stuff.
3rd down and 7 now after the penalty.
Dum-de-dum-de-dum.
Ball at the Montana Tech 49-yard line. Thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision as always. The first meeting between the Trojans and Orediggers ever. Hedrick brings man in motion. That is his running back, Iverson. Blitz coming. Hedrick delivers downfield and overthrown incomplete. Looking for Boggs again. That one's going to fall incomplete and bring in the punting unit.
Top to bottom, this is as, I think the word I want here is as condensed as I've seen the Montana Tech defense early in a game this year. You're not seeing it much deep half play. Everybody's walked up. That time they were just a single high safety, but everybody's walked up a little tighter. And I've seen that kind of snap in and snap out, whether there's 0-man coverage across the board or just playing zone coverage. But everybody just seems a little more condensed, a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
So the punting unit is in here for the Trojans. Return man back is Torgerson. Scoreless here in the opening quarter, as the Trojans will adjust in the offensive front. Tech has blocked punts. And they'll get it away. They're kicking away from Torgerson, ripped it out of bounds out near the 30.
If that snapping keeps up, they will block a punt today as well. The ball bounced back to the punter, and it was a slow snap.
So the official will mark it out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Not listening to the coaching staff of Montana Tech, who are all pointing the other way, trying to influence things just a little bit. 9:03 left to play here in this opening quarter. Montana Tech will get the offense out and give another go. Fumbled on their last possession.
They did move the sticks, though. You have to come into this series not giving up any points yet in this game. Knowing you move the sticks, sure, you turn the ball over, but you have to feel encouraged about how you started this game if you're Montana Tech.
We have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Bless you. Welcome back here once again in the midst of Ron Haskett's sneezing fit. We are back after the timeout. Montana Tech with their second possession. They fumbled in the first. Diggs with the ball. 1st and 10 on their 25-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to hand it off to Milanowski. Milanowski turns the corner. Nates turns it up to the 29-yard line. A gain of 4 for his first carry of the day. So Milanowski, the senior, will move it up. We've got a flag in this secondary.
I thought I saw a flag fly, but I don't know what it would be. Maybe a little downfield hold.
Now the official coming in moves it all the way to the 29-yard line.
Holding, number 60.
So a holding penalty against Montana Tech.
Foul, first down.
So that will back them up. 8:50 left to play here in the first. Montana Tech, first down and 16 now after the holding penalty.
Yeah, spot of the foul, 4 yards downfield. Running game still in play here, just first down.
Milanowski stays in at tailback.
Although I would expect to see a little play action here, maybe a soft roll out of their quarterback.
Jarrett Wilson, hard count. And, of course, everybody's pointing at someone else.
Yes.
So
that's what the game's become in the trenches.
It is completely.
You know, you think of the fist fights they have in there, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody jumps or whatever, and then it becomes a point fest. You know, it's kind of
that, and obviously receivers and corners down
all
the field.
All talk, no walk, right?
So they'll say that Montana Tech got started early, so that will back them up even more. Now 1st and 21 for the Montana Tech offense.
Now we'll
see how they do behind the chains.
Gone to a 4-man front here. They do this a lot in passing situations.
Wilson steps back across the middle, has Torgerson. Torgerson cuts back at the 35, down to the 36-yard line. First down yardage. It was 1st and 21, and they get 22. So Levi Torgerson gets the catch. He'll move the chains for Montana Tech.
And they're hacking at that ball. They're raking big time.
1st and 10, Montana Tech at their 36-yard line. Milanowski stays in at tailback. 2 receivers left. Looks like Michelotti up front. Torgerson stacked up right behind him. And now they'll adjust. Move Derek Pierce, the tight end, to the right side. Heavy formation right. Now Torgerson goes in motion. And the handoff to Milanowski. Milanowski trying to find some daylight. He'll get 2, nearly 3.
I think you're going to have to learn to live with this. I like how the Trojans play defense. I like them up front. They're active, good tacklers, guys that get off blocks, get down the line of scrimmage. You're just going to have to get used to maybe a lot of first down, 2 and 3 and 4-yard gains. You know, they all go for touchdowns on the grease board. Everyone I ever drew up went for 6, but it's just a little different story when you got the size and athleticism up front that the Trojans carry there. 2nd
down and 7. Wilson out of the shotgun. Milanowski play action. Wilson wants to throw. Looking deep. Torgerson has one-on-one. Gets it. Levi Torgerson is going to stroll in for 6.
That is so good. This subtle push off, and you can see it a little bit. It's just subtle. He doesn't get an arm extended. It's just a shoulder bump. You watch him separate from his receiver. Slow down, give just a little bit of a bump, and separate. This is just athleticism at its finest.
So the touchdown in for Levi Torgerson. He looked like they were in a jousting match with hands down the field there before that catch.
And he idles it down just a little bit. He's in front of the receiver, just idles it down and just gives him a little bit of an elbow and a shoulder knock just to separate. This is so good.
6-0, Montana Tech with the lead. Kicking unit comes in for the PAT. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up. The kick is good. Montana Tech leading 7-0 over the Dakota State Trojans. Frontier Conference East action here at Bob Green Field. We'll take a break. We're back here after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech, as you see the replay looking downfield, Wilson just airs that bad boy up. Torgerson pulls it in, and boy, that's just an outstanding play. Moses at corner looked back over his shoulder as the ball came over, and by the time he was able to get back around and kind of get to full speed, Torgerson's just gone.
That was college. Well, I went there on a basketball scholarship to play point guard. How'd that go? Well, I became an All-American receiver.
I was an All-American receiver. Won't mind me. So Montana Tech will kick off here. Jared Wilson, 3 of 3 so far for 91 yards and 1 score. Levi Torgerson has all 3 of those catches, 91 yards and 1 score. Montana Tech will kick off. So the Digs scoring first. The Digs have not trailed at any point in the season thus far, going 5-0 against 4 nationally ranked teams.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's nuts.
That's why, it's so hard to overlook the first half of the season. Wow.
And this one is gone. So the kickoff is blasted away by Baranowski. Ryder, the young man, the sophomore out of Whitefish. Great kid, just hammers that one. I taught him everything he knows, obviously. You've seen my form.
We got to get you down for the
punt, pass, and kick.
Punt, pass, and kick.
I think we should try.
I smell 2 pulled hamstrings, a pulled groin, and a torn labrum.
I'm happy to try as long as that ambulance stays real close. I mean, I'm old and fat and a lot of other things that make it really hard. So Heddick will bring his offense out, trailing 7-0, 1 back at home. As the back is Iverson. Slot goes in motion. That looks like Kine. Hand off to the tailback. And some running room for the first time today for Iverson. He's going to pick up 5, bring up 2nd and 5.
Beller getting up there on the tackle. A little safety help coming up. I believe that was Peyton Gonzer.
Boy, Gonzer's had a nice year.
He's just had a nice career here.
Yeah,
I mean, he really has. He's fairly slight for a safety in the frontier, but I tell you what, he plays big.
2nd down and 5 here for the Trojans. Handoff. Iverson bounces left. He's got daylight. Iverson down the 45, makes a big collision. He's out near the 49. That's going to be a run of 19 yards for that young man. And that will move the chains here as take a look here. Little stutter step off tackle, and then boom, just gone.
We talk about that inside give, that inside zone play. It's just sometimes the windback's there, but Tech's had a lot of helmets to the ball. He just, he kind of hits the hole a little bit, kind of suckers him in, and then bounces it out. A lot of times just play side, the bounce out is there. You really see that on the goal line on Saturdays and Sundays, the bounce out.
Trips receivers right, handoff to Iverson, gets smoked behind the line of scrimmage. He got hit initially about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he fights his way back to a loss of 1.
That was Cole Graham in there on him in a hurry.
Cole Graham, the true freshman out of Helena Capital, leads Montana Tech in sacks at 3.5 so far on the year.
It's tough.
He's so fun.
True freshman.
He is just an animal on the outside. 2nd and 11. 3 receivers for Heddick once again. Montana Tech shows blitz. Here it comes. Pass almost intercepted.
Yeah, he talked about them liking the back out.
Yep.
And is
Livingston?
He crossed. Crossed Cole Graham's face there. Montana Tech with a stunt. He crossed Graham's face and he jumped him. This ball hits Graham right in the stomach, doesn't it?
Yep. Livingston was the intended target, and Graham just got right in front of him.
Now you got a quad package of receivers out here. Probably going to see something. Yeah.
I'll move one to the left side out there. Is going that way is Wolf.
Wolf's misaligned there.
3rd and 11. Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. Heddick, empty backfield. Heddick, 3-step drop, pocket holds. Heddick looking for the deep ball. He has a man overthrown, incomplete.
Yeah, he's calling for his receiver getting tied up. But there's no tie up there. That was just an overthrow. Montana Tech bluffed a blitz there, but just rushed 3. Let their guys stay in coverage. A lot of bodies out there. Nowhere to go with the ball for Heddick.
Hey, thanks for joining us once again here on Digger Vision. As another full day, we have volleyball today at 5 o'clock.
You're curious to see this here. After seeing that first snap, I would expect a hard rush here.
4th down and 11. Punting unit is in. Snap and kick. And we're going to get a flag here. And the punts.
You're going to see a flag here.
Both there's, flags everywhere.
Boy, is that a huge, huge flag, because I think that punter was airborne, so I think this would have been the personal
15.
Personal foul variety.
Agreed.
And these are going to offset.
So they'll rerun it. As you mentioned, Tech brought heavy heat that time. Let's take a look at the replay here on both sides of this. Well, maybe not.
There are fouls by both
So
teams.
the penalties.
And a personal foul, roughing the kicker.
So personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Fair catch interference on Dakota State. Those penalties are going to offset.
So the penalties will offset, and we'll re-rack it and hit her again.
Roughing the kicker and roughing the returner.
So the kicking unit will attempt one more time. 4th down and 11. Punting unit in here for Dakota State. Torgerson back at the 22-yard line. Snap a little low. Tech backs off at this time. Wow. Goes off the side of his foot out of bounds near the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. What are we looking at? A punt of about 14, 15 yards?
I thought it went out. He's got it at the 30-yard line. It looked like it went out of bounds even further upfield than that. But anyway, good starting field position for this Montana Tech offense.
The Digs have run 7 offensive plays, 112 yards.
Amazingly, they're getting Torgerson wide open here on the early downs. I would expect a lot of the same.
4:49 left to play in the opening quarter. We have a timeout, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll take one as well. We're back here right after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Hey, welcome back once again as we take a look at the crowd here at Bob Green Field. We have had tremendous numbers as far as people joining our games. There's still, several hundred, if not maybe more, in the tailgate that still have yet to join us. We'll see if that ever changes here.
Do they have the game piped audio to the tailgate, or do they just really don't care about the game?
First down and I don't know. 1st down and 10. Montana Tech going to change up the formation. They bring him in tight. Wilson out of the shotgun. Milanowski stays in at tailback. Deep pitch to Milanowski. He has a blocker out in front. He'll get tripped up at the 35, and there's a flag down on the edge, and I think probably that's in that holding territory again. Montana Tech is the most heavily penalized team in the Frontier Conference.
Thomas Walkup's pleading his case there.
Holding.
But it looks like they're going to get him with a hold.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So that will back him up 10 again. Montana Tech, 4 penalties, 41 yards thus far. You see it there?
I saw a guy kind of go down, but it wasn't like he was held. He just fell, and the offensive lineman laid on him.
1st down and 20 for the Digs. Tight end in motion. Hand off to Milanowski. Milanowski spins up the middle. He's out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. So that will bring up 2nd down and 15 here for the OREDIGGERs.
Now, if I'm the Trojan defense here, there's one thing I'm going to take away. It's going to be Torgerson. You're going to over-under him. You don't need to bring pressure.
Torgerson lines up in the slot.
They've got a little attention there at outside linebacker and a safety right over the top of him.
They look to the sideline for the play call. A little sunshine, little wind here on a Saturday, but an awfully nice day for football.
And that's good news for Snyder out here because he's going to get one-on-one coverage.
Hand off to Milanowski, goes the other way. Milanowski into the daylight, 40, 45, 50. He has a blocker. Milanowski at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Nate Milanowski will take it to the house. 70 yards, and the Digs go up 13-0.
Wow. Nice piece of running. I turned my head. I was expecting him to throw the ball, so I was seeing what kind of coverage we're seeing down here, and I look up, and Milanowski's 20 yards downfield. That's a 75-yard run. That was 2nd and 15.
Take a look here at the instant replay. Our Case Construction instant replay makes that cut and then just kicks in the afterburner. And look at Torgy out there going to run interference. Milanowski sees the cross angle coming, and he just gets there. Tremendous run by the senior Nate Milanowski. And the Digs go up 13-0. The PAT is up, and it is good. The Orediggers lead 14-0. 2 explosive plays thus far, a 62-yard pass and a 75-yard run, and Montana Tech leading 14-0.
We've seen Wykeese Johnson earlier in the year off to the races on a couple long runs, but it's nice to see Milanowski make a good cut, get to see some daylight, and get to see why he's sharing the backfield there with Johnson. You really got to see the breakaway speed.
Milanowski was, we just had Walk to School with the Orediggers on Wednesday. Milanowski was with us out at Ramsey. He and Charlie Kurgan, and I'm still fighting for Kurgan to get a carry. Like, I am still fighting tooth and nail for Charlie to get a carry.
You and Josh Vincent.
I know, exactly. But just great guys. I mean, that's where Milanowski's such a good kid, and so same with Charlie. I mean, this team is just good people. They care about each other. Coaches care about the players. It's a real special unit and a special team. 3:40 left to play here in this first quarter.
Good culture and good locker rooms are just fun to be around, whether you're playing or not. I mean, these guys are having the time of their life.
And Baranowski hammers another one. That one goes 8 yards deep. And it puts it right on the end line. So the Trojans will start with the ball on their 25-yard line. They have run 15 offensive plays for 69 yards. Heddick is 2 of 8 for 42 yards. Iverson has 4 carries for 26 yards. 14-0, the Digs with the lead. As
I'm getting so comfortable with our Orediggers, I thought I don't need a roster, but I forget about special teams. Get some numbers.
There you go. So here come the Dakota State Trojans up. Handoff going to go to Iverson. He puts head down and runs into a wall of defensive linemen. Short gain, maybe 1 on first down as Iverson hit the pile.
Yeah, I know if you're the Trojans, you've got identity and stuff you want to do, but I think, as good as they've looked, or the best they've looked here in the first half is when they've let Heddick pitch the ball a little bit on first down. They seem to be catching Montana Tech a little bit off guard when they decide to do that, but you also have identity, and you've got to establish your run game. I get that.
Heddick. Play action, wants to throw. Pressure coming. Heddick looking deep ball. He has men double-teamed, intercepted, and coming down with the interception for Montana Tech is none other than Peyton Gonzer. He's playing center field.
Gonzer had that thing dialed up from the second it left the quarterback's hand. Watch this. You just look at Gonzer. He's eyeing this thing up. He knows he has to get at high point. He's going to be challenged there, but great play on the football by 2-7.
Peyton Gonzer with the interception. Montana Tech leading 14-0 will get the football back at their 35-yard line.
And you know I'm partial to that 2-7.
I know you're very partial to that 2-7. So the Digs, 1st and 10 after the interception. Wykeese Johnson is back in at tailback. 1 receiver each way. Wilson out of the shotgun. Wilson hands it off. Actually, play action. He has the man wide open. That is Michelotti's going to stroll into the end zone. He released that Soul wasn't anywhere near him, and Michelotti will take it to the house.
He's seeing a lot of that.
One play, 65 yards, done.
Yeah, he's seeing a lot of that. Just good play action, successful running game. Michelotti's been in there tight a lot, in a stand-up tight end.
Yep.
And just doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And so what happens? They stop covering.
Here we go. Take a look here. Good play action. He puts it in the belly of Johnson, steps back. Wilson looking downfield. I mean, Michelotti, there isn't a soul near him. I mean, he turns and just rolls in. So Michelotti will get the touchdown. Michelotti, that is his 4th receiving touchdown of the year. Montana Tech goes up 20-0. Snap and hold are good. And Montana Tech will go up 21-0 as our own Casey Countsman puts it through. The Digs rolling here in the first.
Acting job there, collision after the PAT just there at midfield. Who do we got there? Tamarian Foster. Frosty trying to win an Academy Award. That's good stuff.
2:49 left to play here in this first quarter. Frontier Conference action. Montana Tech has run 11 plays for 267 yards.
Montel's fired up.
Big ones.
He's fired up. They've had some sudden change opportunities here today. This defense is just playing good football. Yeah. They gave up a couple big plays and a turnover early, but they just have been answering the bell all year long.
First down. Well, I should say the kicking unit in. Then we will get the Trojans attempt here. The Trojans have run, we're looking at here, 17 offensive plays for 70 total yards. They have 42 through the air, 28 on the ground. And Montana Tech ready to kick it off here. So the Digs leading 21-0. And this one pounded through the back of the end zone again.
Those balls, where they landed, the 4 kickoffs he's had could be covered by a beach towel.
Truly.
Yeah. Right there at the top of the tee in Montana Tech.
And I talked about how good this special team unit is and how they dominate. That isn't taken into account nearly enough. The idea of being able to kick a football through the back of the end zone so there is no return, there is no chance of any life, that is a huge, huge benefit for your team. I mean, because if you can eliminate Levi Torgerson kicking off through the back of the end zone every time, life as you know it is good. First down and 10.
It's a good weapon. Baranowski really hits it good.
So first down and 10, Heddick out of the shotgun. Pump fake once, he's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Boy, heavy pressure that time. And Montana Tech gets to him.
Yeah, that's just a lot of pressure there early. Dom Umale gets in there and coming off a big game last weekend. 2 passes broken up, a tipped ball and an interception there in that defensive front, and just playing more confident and playing big and being really active there at that wide side, that field side defensive end spot.
2nd and 13 after the sack. Players will move to the right side of the formation. Heddick trips receivers, wide lefts, drops back, steps up, gets hit. He's holding on to the football. He's going to air it up. Pass is caught at the 38-yard line across the 40 to the 43.
Yeah, you're starting to see it there. That Heddick, you got to hand it to Trey Heddick there. He kept his eyes open downfield, had somebody on his leg, but did, again, holding the ball maybe a little too long, but he was able to stay upright and get this ball complete. This is a good athletic play here.
Yeah, he's got an Orediggers D lineman just draped on him, and he is able to get that ball downfield, and he moves the chains. 1st and 10 as coming up, rolling. Montana Tech, 1 back, 3 receivers. Heddick out of the shotgun. Tech brings 4 defensive linemen up. Heddick puts slot in motion. Pocket. Collapses. Heddick's going to run. He has daylight. Heddick at the 40, 35-30, down the left side and out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Good decision that time.
Heddick with a nice run. He's going to go for about 35.
Found good vertical daylight there, really quick.
Nice run. Look at that gap. That's a tremendous angle on our camera. As you see how much there's just nobody there, and he just gets off to the races and goes. 1st down and 10. Down to the Montana Tech 24-yard line. Their 2nd time down deep in the dig side. 1 back, 3 receivers. Actually, an H-back on the left side. Deep pitch, turning it upfield, still on his feet. Nice run that time. It looked like Jay. Darius Jay with the carry. And Jay will get 8, nearly 9 yards.
Yeah, just a good subtle cut in the backfield. Montana Tech had the force up there, but he saw the cut up and picked up big yardage there on first down.
Jay, a freshman out of Illinois. 2nd and 1 here for the Trojans. They're inside the red zone. Man in motion, right to left. And that's Boggs. Hedrick has put together a nice drive here. He's going to put a guy up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 1. Hedrick gets the snap. Handoff. Jay ahead, and Jay is going to get enough for the first down. He needed 1. He gets 3.
Yeah, another thing to consider for Montana Tech, they're a little light in the secondary. Christian Hansen. Is this his second game away?
First quarter.
Yes.
He's a little banged up, being replaced there by River Wasson. Wasson, a 6'2", 200-pound cornerback out of Great Falls, out of CMR.
And we have a timeout on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I should say the end of the quarter. Montana Tech leading 21-0 after 15 minutes of play. We'll take a break. We are back here with the start of the second quarter after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most. Community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Welcome back here once again. It is homecoming. The Digs leading 21-0 over the Trojans of Dakota State. A Frontier Conference East matchup. And this is conference season officially underway. Tech 5-0 coming through the non-conference side. Dakota State comes in 3-1 through the non-conference side.
And so far, I say a successful start to the conference season.
Yes, I would say so as well, brother. So as we await the start of this quarter, Montana Tech has run 11 offensive plays, 267 yards. On the other side, Dakota State, 22 offensive plays for 132. And this has been a really nice series by Hedrick, both throwing the ball and also getting out of the pocket and getting yardage.
You mentioned something earlier I meant to come back to. There's only one concerning thing of this Montana Tech team thus far this year, and you mentioned they're leading the conference or whatever in penalties.
Yeah.
You know, that's something you really want to get cleaned up.
First down and 10 here as the Trojans inside the red zone. Receiver goes in motion. Hedrick dropping back. Hedrick steps back, airs it up. Pass is caught. Was it in bounds? No, out of bounds. Good effort that time by Boggs on the far left wing. As unable to get the feet down, so that will be second down and 10. Let's take a look at the instant replay. See what we got here. Hedrick has time. Nice job by the offensive front holding him out. He airs it up. Yep. Nice job up top on our camera crew and Jason on our replay. Thank you, sir.
Boggs did get behind Lowry there a little bit. A good reaction to the football by David Lowry, though.
21-0, the Digs with the lead. Dakota State trying to get some points up. Hedrick. Play action, pressure coming. And that one is caught at the goal line, leaning in. And no signal yet. We have a flag down in the backfield. And they're going to call him shy of the end zone. They're going to say he did not get in. So first and goal from the 1, but there is a flag down, and this might be roughing the passer again.
I think you are going to get a roughing the passer here. Maybe Kovic? Yeah.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 19.
So a roughing the passer against Montana Tech.
This is the goal. It's an automatic first down.
I'll tell you what. Paddock's getting a lot more respect out there for the roughing the passer than Mac Jones did the other night in the Niner game. Yeah. I don't know if you watched that. Boy, he got belted around like crazy. Never could buy a flag.
5 penalties for Montana Tech, 65 yards so far here, basically in the first quarter.
I have to step in here and show my love of the 49ers.
First and goal from the 1. Snap is high. Defensive tackle is in to the goal line. Touchdown. As with the carry is going to be Cauley. Casey Cauley, a big D end, a senior from Texas, gets the direct snap, and Cauley will take it in.
A little wildcat action here. D tackle.
And Cauley gets it, puts his head down, and goes. He gets it across the goal line, so the Trojans get on the board. Montana Tech leading 21-6. The kicking unit in for the PAT. Villanueva, 9 of 12 on PATs this year. Montana Tech gets pressure, and they're able to get it through. So 21-7 our score. Montana Tech leading the Trojans. Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday. Winds are shifting a little bit here. It depends on which flag you look at. We have the flags in the facility are coming out of the west, but if you look over at the head frame, that's coming directly out of the north. A little shifting wind here in the mining city.
A little bit of chill in the air. Perfect, absolutely perfect weather for a game.
As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, as the Digs leading 21-7. Good series that time for the Trojans, as they are able to get it in. 8 plays, 75 yards, 7 points for the Trojans. And they will kick off here to Montana Tech.
I'm going to lie, I'm kind of glad they scored, so we can get a kickoff return. I mean, it's almost maybe worth it, just to get to see who is number Torgy 4 in my phone.
So the kicking unit is in. And getting ready to kick it away is Villanueva, a freshman from Florida, Lakeland Christian High School in Florida. Low line drive kick, fielded by an up back. So they don't go kick it deep to Torgy. They line drive it. Ball gets out to the 35-yard line. Montana Tech will take over there. Now we're going to get a flag.
They've obviously done their homework. Not kicking the ball, not punting the ball to Torgerson or kicking it to him.
We do not want to touch the ball. There is a flag down again. Let's see what we have here. There was some extracurricular there, it felt like.
Another personal flag foul against Montana Tech.
The return team.
Another personal foul against the Digs.
First down.
Yeah, they just, I don't know. A lot of these they're emotional, aggressive plays, right? It's hard to coach that, but not want to harness it too much,
Yep. Yeah, you want to play as close to that line as you can get. So first down and 10 here for the Digs after the penalty. Ball comes back to the 21.
You can't tell them to be smart and then ask them to run full steam into a 220-pound running back, because that's not smart, right?
Jarrett Wilson. Split backs this time. 3 receivers. That looks like Pierce in motion. And the handoff will go to Johnson. Wykees Johnson wraps up the ball with both hands. Back to the line of scrimmage and not much more. A gain of 1 as he gets stood up. Take a look at the replay here. You'll notice the big difference with Wykees now. Both hands wrapped snugly around that football.
Right.
After putting the first one on the turf and getting a break for a couple series. Montana Tech has run for 112 yards. Excuse me, I have the hiccups.
You got Jansen, Hammond, and Dwyer there in the defensive front. They don't come out much. Those guys are...
Blitz coming. Wilson's going to turn it upfield. He's across the 25 out to the 28-yard line. Big hit delivered. Wilson hops back up. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, big hit delivered. Jordan Cooper getting a dream shot on a quarterback here.
Good pressure that time by Chambliss, the linebacker out of Houston, pushing Wilson out of the shotgun, making him a little uncomfortable there. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4. So 3rd and 4 here for the Trojans, for the Digs, my apologies. Ball at their 27-yard line. Montana Tech looking to move the chains. Torgerson in motion. Handoff, play action. Quarterback keeps it, lobs it downfield. Pass caught Boy, that's a well-thrown football out to the 36-yard line. Coming up with the reception is going to be Dylan Snyder. He had guys draped on him.
Yeah, that was a tough completion. I thought Wilson might just tuck this and run and go get the first down. He had plenty of room to go pick up that 4 yards. But yeah, that's again, I think that's telling us just how much more confident he's getting in throwing the ball.
Really good coverage that time by Michael Foster. And that is a fresh set of downs for Montana Tech. Their 6th first down. Wilson steps up in trouble. He has some daylight. He's going to go. Wilson out of bounds at the 45. That's going to be a gain of 8.
Good decision. They wanted to take a shot downfield. Wilson didn't like what he saw, just found a gap, and I like how he's moving vertically out of that pocket to find the gaps instead of trying to circle around the perimeter. And he just, if you can step forward and find that gap, it's just immediate pressure on the defense, and you're going to see a lot more success in your runs.
2nd down and 2 here for the Orediggers. Wilson has run for 25 yards on 3 carries. Snap almost brings him into the neutral zone. Trojans look like they have the nickel package in here. Linebackers moving. Wilson out of the shotgun. Handoff, play action. Wilson's going to keep it. He wants the edge, and he's going to go down. Great job that time defensively, as tracking him down is Perez. Josiah Perez, the linebacker out of California, makes the play, and that's going to be a loss of 3.
You know, another thing I've noticed is, I don't know, you can look and see here, but look at how far the defensive front from Dakota State plays off the football. You know, usually, people are right up there. They're just on the edge. They're on the line. They're almost a full yard off the ball. Watch this.
3rd down and 5 officially.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, look at that. I mean, there is a gap. 3rd down and 5. Torgerson there in motion. Wilson stands, airs it up. Pass is caught out near midfield. The officials say move the chains. 1st and 10, Montana Tech at the 49-yard line of Dakota State as Michelotti will haul the pass in. Michelotti's 2nd catch of the afternoon.
Good, just a real good job of finding space in zone coverage by Michelotti. Sits down there, a little bit of an option or a choice route, settles in there and just waits for his quarterback to deliver him the ball. And Wilson putting that in a spot where only Michelotti could catch it.
This Orediggers offense just grinding clock. They are number 2 in the country for time of possession, as they are averaging, what are we looking at, almost 38 minutes a game. As Torgerson to the edge, does not find daylight. He gets tracked down, loss of 1.
That's a good football player. That's middle linebacker Terrence Sir, just reading that, coming up and not missing on Torgerson. Another senior leader in that defense.
2nd down and 11. And Wilson will line her up. Clock running here. Saturday afternoon in Butte, Montana. Split backs.
Not getting much of a shell coverage here. They're just, they're kind of manned up. You can get open guys here. Just got to get Wilson a little time.
Michelotti in motion. Play action. Wilson rolls, stops, goes back to his left. He airs it up, and this one he's going to throw away. You brought it up earlier in the broadcast that sometimes a throwaway is the right play.
Yeah, good play action there. Just didn't get the leak. And trying to flood a zone out here to the boundary side. Just well covered by that Trojan defense. He adjusted in the pocket to try and look downfield and then just thought, I'll live to see another down here. Don't want to get in a worse situation than 3rd and 11. And we'll see if Montana Tech can't pass protect here and get 4 or 5 guys in the route.
Tech 15 offensive plays, 291 yards thus far.
See this gap and them laying off the line of scrimmage, that can allow them to jump a little bit and not get into that neutral zone.
Yeah. 3rd down and 11. Wilson, 3-step drop, airs it up, down the middle, has Torgerson. It's caught at the 15-yard line.
It is amazing he's getting that open downfield. Yeah. I mean, that is just an obvious passing down, and Torgerson's just running past people. So athletic, so quick, good on the cuts, and really good with the ball in the air.
Foster, the free safety out of Florida, brings him down. He was draped on him, and Torgerson, look at him holding on to that football.
He's special.
Levi Torgerson's 4th catch of the day, already over 100 yards receiving. Inside the Case IH red zone, Montana Tech looking at 1st and 10 from the 15. Torgerson in motion, stops on the right side. He's going to get the ball. They're going to run reverse. They'll get it off, and here comes Michelotti. Michelotti has a blocker as quarterback. Michelotti inside the 5, down to the 4.
That was Snyder, I believe.
Yep, it is Snyder.
Because I think Michelotti got busted for holding in the end zone. That's what gave it away.
Watch Wilson at quarterback. So they get the ball over to Snyder, and then watch Wilson set this block on the edge.
Holding.
Right there. And then he gets run over by his receiver. Snyder down to the 4. And the holding penalty will back them up. So another penalty here against Montana Tech. Again, that has been the Achilles heel thus far. That has been the one spot where you're like, man, every game the penalties have just stacked up.
Now you're getting more of a shell coverage here. They're probably just going to see a little 4-man rush. They may sneak a linebacker in there. Look like they might have tipped his hat there at inside linebacker.
1st and 9 from the 14-yard line. Hand off to Wykeese Johnson. He'll turn it upfield. He's across the 10. Head down to the 9, a gain of 5.
Just looked like there was more there, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
But they pursued the football well. Got good angles on Johnson just for a small gain, a 3-yard gain. But 2nd and 5, a lot of options here. They do not probably want to go to a field goal. I think if, everything else being considered here, I think if these next 2 downs or 3 downs or next 2 downs go forward, they will look at a 4th down attempt here.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Milanowski, no, actually it is Wykeese this time. Wykeese ahead for a gain of 2, nearly 3.
I like these defenses that, similar to what the Trojans are playing. They're off the ball to defend this zone. I mean, a lot of bodies at the line of scrimmage isn't necessarily the answer. People think they get a bunch up there, it's tougher to run. Zone, it's not tougher to run. You see holes pop open. I like teams that layer it, like the Trojans. Who used to layer the zone really good defensively was Mike Van Diest at Carroll College. Just layers, 3-man front, plug with a linebacker, but just come in layers to defend it.
3rd down and 4 from the 9. Torgerson gets it on the fly. Stiff arm. He's down to the 6. And did he get drugged down by the face mask? It looks like that might be the call.
Yeah, it looked like a face mask. Yep. Or they got Cohen Castellitz out here on a hold. He was also there, too.
By the reaction, I feel like...
Face mask, number 2 of the offense.
Oh.
It's a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, they called Torgerson with the stiff arm face mask. You can put your hand straight out into that face mask, that defender's face mask, but the second you grab it and pull it, you can be called offensively.
Okay. So that will come all the way back to the 23-yard line.
I'll tell you what I would do here. You're probably going to see a shell coverage, not much blitz. You're going to see zone. You're going to see half field, but they will layer. They will over-under the Torgerson side here, right? So you're going to have a light outside linebacker and a safety over the top. That means you got to like Snyder one-on-one here. I would expect this ball to go to Snyder in the end zone.
Dropping back. He's looking that way. Wilson down the middle, and he was looking at Torgerson, and Torgerson was drugged down in the end zone.
He got through there again.
Yeah.
He got through there again. They had to grab him and hold him.
Yep.
Otherwise, this is 6 points.
Let's take a look at the Case Construction instant replay. Wilson has a lot of time. Nice job up front. You see the collision, and then as he's going down, the cornerback that time loops him through the arm. That is Foster actually out at free safety.
8 of the defense.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, but it will result in an automatic first down.
So our flags continue. We have had 9 penalties, 7 of them against Montana Tech, 2 on Dakota State so far.
I know I'm a pass-happy guy, but I stay in the air here. You got Kurgan in the backfield along with Milanowski. But I think I stay in the air here.
I watch for Milanowski to flood out to the end zone. Milanowski has great hands out of the backfield. And we're going to get a timeout on the field. It looks like we're going to observe a timeout. 6:29 left to play here in this first half. Montana Tech leading 21-7, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here to the campus of Montana Tech right after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down. We will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most. Community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
We are back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. 21-7 our score. The Digs up over the Dakota State Trojans thus far. Trojans have run 25 offensive plays, 145 yards. Montana Tech 23 offensive plays for 349 offensive yards. The Digs with a fresh set of downs, looking at 1st and goal from the 8-yard line inside the Case IH red zone.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they're talking about down there, but I think they're going to go airborne here.
Okay. And if they stay in that same formation, I like to leak Milanowski out. I mean, he has great hands as a back. Maybe chip on the edge and go for the back pylon.
See if they get in that same set. They had 3 receivers to the boundary side here. And then Kurgan and Milanowski in the backfield going into that timeout.
So the Digs up to the line of scrimmage. Heavy formation. Kurgan in the backfield. Now they'll adjust. Milanowski will join him in the backfield. And Milanowski will get the carry. He'll bounce it to his left. Tries to find a gap. He's down near the 6.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah.
Just staying in layers.
Good pursuit.
Pursuing the football, beating blocks.
They really got down the line of scrimmage nicely. That'll bring up 2nd and goal here from the 6.
Got a
injured player possibly here for the Trojans.
And I was hoping they would have a phonetic pronunciation of Caden's last name, Caden Eng. I don't know how you say that, but he's down on the field. Looks like they're looking at an ankle or a knee.
Oh, it isn't there, huh? Okay.
They helped us with these really hard ones. They must not have thought they would have to help me pronounce a 3-letter name.
They don't realize just how little schooling we both have. So Eng will go to the sideline, not putting a whole lot of weight, it looks like, on the right foot. Please, all right. 6:08 left to play in the first half.
Now as a defense, of course, you're expecting them to throw the ball. I keep Wykees, or I guess it's Wykees Johnson, in the backfield. I keep the run in play. They got a full house backfield. Shift to single back here. And Kurgan in the backfield, so you're going to have a lead.
Heavy formation up front. Twin tight right. Handoff to Johnson. Wykees straight ahead. Nothing. Nothing at all for Wykees Johnson. He'll get down to the 5. That'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 5. Montana Tech is 80% in the red zone, so they're getting points 80% of the time they're in the red zone this year, and 53% of the time they're getting touchdowns. They would like that percentage to go up on this possession.
Got Torgerson back in action here. Looks like
Wilson under center.
That's the old pro set.
Yeah, well, offset I formation, deep pitch. They're going to run reverse. Torgerson wants to throw wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. Torgerson airs it up.
That's to Jared, isn't it?
Jared Wilson will get the catch.
Philly special.
And the Digs will go up 27-7. The reverse to Torgerson. Torgerson rolls out. There's his quarterback. Good springs, I might add.
Torgerson's got to be 3rd or 4th in the conference in touchdown throws, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has 2, I think.
Oh, wait, yeah, the other one. He's got 3 completions, right?
He's 3 for 3. And the kicking unit in for the PAT. Montana Tech up 27-7. And we'll look to get the PAT up and through. Montana Tech answers with a really nice drive. Low line drive blast will go through for the PAT, and we have a timeout.
Not real pretty by Councilman there, but he got it through the uprights. He was kind of kicked that one and dropped his head in shame, but he got her through the goal post.
28-7, Montana Tech with the lead over Dakota State. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here to Bob Green Field after this.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as you take a look at the Orediggers sideline. The Digs up 28-7 as 16 plays, 79 yards, and nearly 10-minute drive for Montana Tech. Again, number 2 in the country as far as time of possession goes, and they showed it with that bad boy right there.
I'm really surprised that they kind of fell for the junk there, right?
Yeah.
The trick play, because they've obviously been coached up, to the dangers of Torgerson, especially in the return game. And you can't fall asleep on what he's done in the passing game or the end-around game. So you see him on the field out there. How often is Torgerson to the wide side of the field by himself? He's usually inside a Snyder or he's usually inside a Michelotti. He's out there by himself. I mean, that's sending up alarms to me left and right. I might even take a timeout.
The kicking unit is in to smash it away here for Montana Tech. End over end. Into the wind. 2 yards deep. And almost took it out, but he decides not to. Whew, that was close.
Good decision.
It was a great decision.
Because not only was that ball deep and into the end zone, into a stiff wind, it was a really high kick. So his cover team was in good position to get them pinned inside maybe the 15-yard line.
Kind thought about it. And then he takes the knee. Montana Tech leading 28-7.
What do you think these two were talking about?
I love the fact you've got the kickers staying together, talking to each other, helping each other out.
They're thick. They're tight.
Yeah. And they're both just tremendous kids, and I hate calling them kids, but Casey Countsman handling the punting and field goal and PAT for the most part. And, of course, Ryder Baranowski with the kickoff side of things right now. Heddick out of the shotgun. He is thrown for 74 yards today. Handoff going to go to his tailback. Straight ahead, he'll gain 3 as Iverson will push his way through the pile. When we had a view of Iverson running from the end zone earlier, he's tough to see in the backfield. Iverson.
He's a 5'6".
Yeah, he's 5'6", and he runs really low to the ground. And you can see, he gets lost. Behind those big offensive linemen, he is tough to see. 2nd down and 7. Trips receivers right, and blitz coming. Heddick airs it up, has his man Boggs down to the 46-yard line. He'll get stacked up, but he will move the chains. That's going to be a gain of 17. And a fresh set of downs here for the Trojans.
That's a spot of the field you can attack versus man and versus zone. That's just a good piece of route running by Boggs, and a good piece of throwing by Heddick back there in the backfield. This is over the under coverage and in front of the over coverage.
2 receivers left, one to the right here for Heddick and company. Heddick out of the shotgun. Heddick is 4 of 12 on the day. Snap a little high. He's able to get it underneath. And the run game back to the line of scrimmage and no more for Iverson. Iverson 6 carries, make that 7 carries now for 30 yards.
A couple tackles on this series by Umale there in that defensive front. Really active, playing really good football.
I was ecstatic. He had two pass breakups in the trenches. I mean, you and I get so excited for that, and you missed it last week. I was so upset.
I know.
Second down and 10.
Took second in our golf tournament, though.
He didn't win. Man, sorry, that was rude, wasn't it? Boggs drops back, and that one's going to be behind the intended target as he was looking for Cole. Actually, not Cole over there. That was Ford. And that'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Trojans.
His receiver may have a read route there. You know, we used to read that single receiver side with either a 15-yard, comeback sideline out or a go. And Hedrick wanted his receiver to hit the brakes there. The receiver thought he had one-on-one to the goal line.
3rd down and 10 here for Dakota State. Hedrick, one back, trips receivers right to the short side of the field. Looking that way. Stands in the pocket, airs it up. Pass is incomplete. Boy, it don't look like Montana Tech's Damon Burns almost got a fingertip on it underneath.
Yeah, they're cautious against this Montana Tech defense. They held the tight end in there to help with pass protection, to give Hedrick maximum pass protection there. And 3 guys in the route to the boundary side. I think I don't mind the concept there, but I put the tight end to the boundary and give yourself some room out here with the 3 receivers to the wide side of the football field.
Punting unit is in here for the Trojans. Torgerson back at the 15. Pressure coming. He's able to get it away. And this one will go out of bounds between the 30 and 35 somewhere, it would appear.
I don't know what happened here. They ran right over the top of the punter, and they didn't get the call. There's no flag. Watch this.
I think if we watch the return, I don't know if it matters if he was all the way back just standing upright. You know, his leg wasn't up or out. I don't know if that has any bearing at all. But
So once he's completely done punting, is he live game?
That's what I'm wondering. Oh. Maybe if one of us had ever looked at the rules in our lives, it might be.
It is a book, isn't it?
And there are enough pages to color. 1st down and 10, Montana Tech. Diggs have run 27 offensive plays, 357 yards. Jarrett Wilson is 8 of 9 for 210 yards. Play action. Wilson has time. He wants the deep ball into double coverage. Torgerson goes up, almost comes down with it. Boy, that was dangerous down near the 30.
Yeah, Torgerson was bracketed downfield. No business going there with the football other than the fact you're throwing it to the hottest receiver in the nation. Why not?
Well, watch this. Good
he almost
camera
comes
work.
Down with this.
He does. He spots it at the high point. And a nice job that time in coverage. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Diggs. Clock at 3:07 left to play here in the first half. Again, remember, homecoming. We do have volleyball coming up later. Montana Tech taking on Northern at 5.
Just when I say, how often do you see Torgerson out here by himself? There he is.
And there he goes in motion. They play action it to him. Wykees Johnson. Boy, he has not seen much at all yet today. A 3-yard gain for Wykees. He has 15 yards on the ground so far. Brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Diggs. Clock running. Remember, of course, it'll stop at 2 minutes.
I realize he's out there playing, but I don't know if Wykees looks 100% to me right now, and understandably so. I mean, he's gotten a lot of carries in those first 5 games and been hit a ton of times.
Yeah. So 3rd down and 7 here for the Orediggers. Jarrett Wilson out of the shotgun. Steps back across the middle. Pass is caught. Stutter step there. And going backwards is Snyder trying to find something. And there just is nothing there. Tried to turn it upfield and just kept getting pushed sideways. So Snyder with the catch. No gain. Brings up 4th down.
Orediggers will have to punt for the first time today. Right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, good pitch and catch. Snyder tried to put on the brakes and turn it upfield. They're just a wall of white jerseys in front of him. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute timeouts. 28-7, Montana Tech with the lead as the Diggs up over the top of the Trojans with the timeout. We'll take one. We are back here right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Their first ever meeting between the Orediggers and the Trojans. Montana Tech leading 28-7. As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett. Another Saturday afternoon. The Dig's on the road next week. And our next home game will be Hall of Fame.
Where they go next week?
They are at lovely scenic Harv, Montana.
I wonder if it'll be windy.
4th down and 7. We are so infantile, it's not even funny. So 4th and 7, the punting unit is in for Montana Tech. And Casey Countsman back at the 19-yard line to punt it away. So it looks like we're ready to roll here. Snap a good one, and Countsman hammers it into the wind. Fair catch called for and grabbed right at the 30-yard line.
Good punt.
Coming down with the fair catch is Wolf. Jovi Wolf, the receiver out of Wentworth, South Dakota. 1:55 left to play here in the first half. Montana Tech 2 timeouts. On the other side, Dakota State with 3. If you're Dakota State right now, you're down 28-7. Tech starts with the football in the second half. How much does that factor into what you're going to do here?
Oh, you're going to go try and score. This is Thursday afternoon practice, Paul. This is 2-minute drill. All 3 timeouts. This is win, lose, or draw today. This is good stuff to work on game day.
Trips receivers right. Hedrick stands in the pocket, delivers out to the 41-yard line, a gain of 11. Nice turn and catch that time as Kine brings it in. Maddox Kine, a junior out of Sioux Falls.
This is as fun a life as life gets for receivers and quarterback, especially because it's so active and you get to see. This is where your number 2 receivers get to see a lot of action. Is 2-minute.
Hedrick gets his man right at midfield. Spin move out on the edge and almost getting clear that time was Ford. So Hedrick keeps him running. Trey Hedrick, a junior out of Shelby, South Dakota, will move the chains for his Trojans.
Shelby guy.
Wrong Shelby.
I got to start watching Montana Tech's defense a little more. I don't know where the underneath coverage is going.
First down and 10, pressure coming. Hedrick escapes, throws it away.
And just like that, they answer the bell. All 3 of them sit down there and hook, curl to hook.
1:14 left to play here in this second quarter. Good pressure by Montana Tech and good decision by Hedrick to get rid of it as Gunnar Peterson all over him. Second down and 10 here for the Trojans. Trips receivers left, 1 to the right. Hedrick right now is 6 of 16 throwing the football. Steps up, sacked. Hedrick goes down at the 45-yard line, a loss of 7. And run the interior. Roland Trent, the big D lineman, will get the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 17. The clock is running.
This is why you search the portal for Beaumont, Texas, right there. Good to see Rowe get a sack. Just a 4-man rush. Just a good individual pass rush and play.
3rd down and 17. Clock running down to 40 seconds. Hedrick dropping back. In trouble, steps up. He is going to air it up. Pass is caught. And down to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 12 as grabbing the catch is Victor Boggs Jr.
Now this is your decision. They got an injury on the field.
Timeout, Dakota State. That's our first charge timeout of the half.
So 4th down here for the Trojans. 26 seconds remaining here in the first half.
So in that case, they take a timeout. Is that to avoid a 10-second runoff? In that case, offensive injury inside?
I would assume.
Is that?
Yeah.
This is usually when I'm fast forwarding when I watch on Saturday and Sunday, so I never get the rule explanations.
You know, we really should pay a little bit more attention.
Nah.
Frontier Conference action, Frontier East Conference action. Thanks for joining us here. As you take a look at the crowd, we are packed here once again in Butte, Montana.
I prefer it when the Tim Schwartzes of the world that are listening from Williston, North Dakota, think they know more than we do. It's just a better world.
It's not much of a stretch of the imagination for someone to know more than we are.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Boggs slowly going to the sideline. Hopefully Victor going to be okay. Another one from Beaumont, Texas. He has been a factor so far to get this one started. The Dakota State Trojans had a charter plane come in. $26 seconds remaining here in the first half. As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision.
I don't see a punter.
I don't either. Offense is going to stay on the field, 4th down and 5.
What's our guy going to dial up here? Montel going to heat him up or stay in coverage?
I think he'll bring a spy.
I think he bluffs. I think he bluffs and stays in coverage.
Yep. 4th down and 5. Heddick. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right, quickly to the line of scrimmage. Play clock is down to 1. Heddick able to get it away. Airs it up, right side, tipped out. Great play on the far side of the field.
That's Wasson in there. Replacing Christian Hansen. Great job on the boundary side, just waiting for that out route, making a good break. Trusts his technique, gets his outside arm or his upfield arm across and gets that ball knocked away. This is just textbook coverage.
River Wasson, the redshirt freshman out of CMR, making the play. Boy, just timed it perfectly. Leans in, gets a hand on it, done deal. Turnover on downs, 22 seconds. I have to assume you're going to take the knee and you're going to go right into the locker room.
No, you don't mail this one in. 22 seconds, 2 timeouts. You got time for 5 plays.
Okay. And they will come out of the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Wilson out of the shotgun. He's going to roll the pocket left, looking downfield. And pass is bobbled. And a big hit delivered after the fact.
That's a defenseless receiver. Should have got a flag there.
Michelotti hops up. Just didn't watch it into the hands there. Take a look at the case construction instant replay here. Is pass.
Yeah, these balls are tough to handle. When you're running and you got to reach back and low for a ball. Now, he'll tell you should make the catch all day long. Don't get me wrong. But those are the ones that receivers struggle with. A little low and a little behind.
Challenging the calling on the field of targeting, timeout.
And it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. And they're going to go to the tent. So the TDS Fiber tents. We're going to get a look at the replay here. He drops his helmet a little bit and goes up top.
Yeah, they want to target. They won't get it here.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't get it. It's the only thing I would see here is a defenseless receiver possibly, but certainly not a target. It's a good hit.
28-7. Montana Tech with the lead. The white hat has gone into the tent.
I don't hate the hit. I don't think it's a dirty play or anything like that. It's a big human he just flattened.
Yeah, no joke. So they will eyeball it in the TDS Fiber tent. 16 seconds remaining here in the first half. Montana Tech leading 28-7. As always, thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon. And we will see what they come up with here.
And then I think the defensive back in that case, Michael Foster, it almost looked like they were having words with the Tech sideline, the Tech coaching staff. So the officials actually had to walk Foster back into the middle of the football field and get him out of there. So you know what I'm doing, don't you, right now?
What are you doing?
I'm putting 4 guys in the route, and who's ever lined up over number 3, I'm throwing a go route at him. Yes.
16 seconds remaining. The instant replay for the officials has been used a lot this year, it feels like.
You know, coaching can be fun, too. It's not all stress. You can have a good time.
After review, we had a personal foul, targeting. Number 3 of the defense.
That surprises me. I didn't think.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Targeting will be the call.
First down.
So 15 yards, and he's out.
Yeah. So can't go after him?
Tech will not be charged the timeout, and they still have their challenge.
So Michael Foster, after the targeting is out, and Montana Tech will be looking at first down and 10 from the 43-yard line of the Trojans. Do you go after his replacement?
Sure.
Second down and 10.
That makes a little more sense.
Coaching staff of Dakota State's out on the field talking to the officials here.
Yeah, full nickel package in here defensively. I still like the short side here. They got Torgerson currently the inside slot to the boundary side. They're going to be over and under on him. That's a given. And he's showing that he's getting behind that coverage as well. So that would tell me Snyder to the boundary side, the wide guy, will be one-on-one.
Wilson dropping back, 4-man pressure. Wilson downfield has a man caught. Oh, bobbled at the 5, incomplete pass.
And Snyder, they rolled the corner. They showed man coverage, but they rolled the corner to deep half there. That's like a 2 inverse or inverse, we used to call this. But they roll him into half field. Snyder's wide open.
Snyder wide open, gets it in the hands, just unable to maintain possession. 2nd and 10.
Great read, though. I mean, great read. You know that Torgerson's going to take all the attention over there. Snyder's one-on-one. And now your Michelotti down here is going to get the same treatment.
Yep, 2nd down and 10, 1 back, 3 receivers. Wilson dropping back, looking left. He goes to his back, to his tight end. Pierce a little low, unable to contain it. 6 seconds remaining in the first half. 3rd down and 10. Just try to drop it off to his tight end, and that one comes in a little low behind. 3rd and 10 here for the Digs. Montana Tech, 2 timeouts remaining.
If there's one ball I would say that Wilson struggled to throw a little bit this year is just that inside 5-yard stuff, the dumps.
Little touch stuff.
Yeah, he's almost like trying to touch it up a little too much instead of just flipping it.
I would agree. Tech leading 28-7. Montana Tech has run 33 offensive plays for 360 yards. Dakota State has run 36 offensive plays for $195. Montana Tech taking a timeout here. 6 seconds remaining in the first half. The Dakota State coaching staff all over the officials on the far side. So remember, Montana Tech with the ball right now. They will also start with the football in the second half.
What are the penalties right now? Both teams, do you have them up?
I do. Montana Tech, 8 penalties for 92 yards. And on the other side, Dickinson State has 3 penalties for 35 yards. So 11 flags.
You better call them Dakota, not Dickinson. Those two schools.
Did I say Dickinson?
They hate each other.
Did I say Dickinson?
Oh, that's okay.
Dakota State, my apologies. I didn't even realize I did. 3rd down and 10 here for the Digs. Ball at the Dakota State 43-yard line. 1 back, trips receivers. Wilson rolls the pocket to his right. Pass downfield, complete, out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Michelotti with 1 second left. Well, you might as well give it a ride.
Why not?
So Montana Tech will call a timeout.
Of the half.
They'll be looking at, looks like 4th down and short. I mean, it doesn't matter what down it is. It doesn't matter if it's 1st and 10 or 4th and a half yard. They'll have 1 second on the clock.
52 yards. I give your kicker a swing here.
The wind is in his face.
Yep.
Wind out of the north.
Juiced ball.
Casey Countsman. I honestly, and I kid you not, so I was sitting in my office yesterday and I meant to ask Coach Sampson what was the yardage? Where are you comfortable with putting Casey in? And I didn't. I totally forgot. So they will let it go. 51-yard attempt for Casey Countsman, right hash mark. So Casey Countsman from the right hash mark will attempt to give it a go. Diggs leading 28-7. Casey Countsman on the year is 5 of 5 from field goals, as long as 42. Snap and hold are good. Kick is up and over in. Kick is up, and it is just short.
That's the end of the first half.
Just short. Do we have a replay on the north end zone cam? Can we see how close that was? Jason, do we have somebody there by chance? 28-7 is the score. We have one half of football in the books. Montana Tech up over Dakota State here on Digger Vision. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll run you through the numbers and more. Ladies and gentlemen, halftime. We're back in a minute.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Reese Layton attempting the Valley Bank punt, pass, and kick, and unable to get her through the uprights. So hopefully Reese will be okay before she goes out on the volleyball court later on this evening.
Good effort.
28-7 our score. We are at the half. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Haskett, give us your take on the opening half, brother.
Oh, I think Montana Tech, you got to feel good about what you've done. They're going to go in and chalk up and grease up the run game a little more, because they're going to want to sustain drives here in the second half, eat clock, keep them off the field, keep their possessions, to as little as possible. So they're going to go in and work on some running game stuff. But they have to be happy with how they thrown the ball, and their defensive effort has been really good so far. Give up 7 points. I predicted it would be tough for Dakota State to score more than 10 points here today. So hopefully that stays true. But defensively, just they're going to talk about the same things. They're going to go in and talk about penalties. That's been probably their only issue yet this year is just the penalties. So they got to clean that stuff up. But yeah, they got to like what they're seeing out of their team and in their preparation going into today. Absolutely.
Frontier Conference East matchup between the Digs and the Trojans here on a Saturday afternoon in Butte, Montana. Let's take a look at the numbers here.
And I was just going to chime in because, frankly, in the coaching world, there's times where you'll go in there and say, what the hell did we do all week?
Yeah.
We're not seeing anything we expected to see. We've got almost like a full change of game plan. That stuff does happen. It just does happen. So, but they got to like how they prepared. Absolutely.
Let's take a look here number-wise. We'll start things off for Dakota State University. They have run 36 offensive plays, 195 yards thus far. Trey Heddick at quarterback is 8 of 20. He has 1 interception. He's thrown for 128 yards. He has been sacked twice so far in this contest. Rushing the ball right now, Iverson has 7 carries, for 30 positive yards. Heddick has 5 carries for 36. Jay, 2 for 11. Receiving thus far, Kine with 3 catches for 65. From there, you have Boggs with 4 catches for 52 and Ford 1 catch for 11. Otherwise, for Dakota State right now, they have 11 first downs. As we mentioned earlier, right before half, they had 3 penalties for 35 yards. They're 1 of 6 on third downs as of right now, and 0 of 1 on fourth downs as we have 30 minutes in the books. On the other side for Montana Tech right now, they have run 34 offensive plays for 370 yards. They have 12 first downs, and they have done damage. Really, Jarrett Wilson, again, is tearing it up. I mean, his numbers right now at the half, 10 of 15, throwing the football, completing 75% of his passes, or 66% of his passes, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns as of right now. Torgerson has 1 catch, 5 yards. And, I mean, another reception, one passing completion, adding to his total on the year. On the ground right now, Milanowski, 6 carries, 89 yards, and a score. Wilson has 4 for 25. Johnson, Waike's 5 carries for 14. Dylan Snyder, 1 for 11. Let's see, receiving right now, Torgerson has 5 catches for 127 and a score. Nick Michelotti, 3 catches for 84 and a score. Snyder has 2 for 9, and Jarrett Wilson, 1 reception, 5 yards, 1 score for Jarrett Wilson. Montana Tech, as I mentioned, 12 first downs. They have been 6 of 8 on third down right now, and time of possession actually pretty even between these two, just shy of 15 minutes for both. And that's kind of how things stand. Montana Tech, 34 offensive plays for 370. On the other side, Dakota State, 36 offensive plays for 195.
I don't think you hate, believe it or not, 28 points and some big plays, but I don't think if you're the Trojans, you necessarily hate your defensive performance or preparation so far. I mean, look at Milanowski. He's got 89 yards, 75 of that in 6 carries. 75 of that came on 1 rush. You know, so they've done a nice job against, especially the zone running attack from Montana Tech. You have to like what you're doing there. They've given up some big plays when, you know, like the Torgerson bomb. That ball should have been batted away. He was in position there. He just got outworked for the ball by Torgerson. You know, a subtle little slowdown and elbow to shove off a little bit, but you as a defender, you got to make a play there. And then at one time, Jarrett Wilson was 9 of 10, and now he's 10 of 15. So they've found some answers in defending the pass. And granted, that was a 2-minute situation, but he had open receivers. They are starting to get a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a better job staying in coverage and accounting for receivers. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you consider that a pass broken up on the Dylan Snyder bomb, but you know, Montana Tech missed obviously a big opportunity there, but they were certainly in better position coverage-wise.
Yeah. Let's see other scores right now in the Frontier Conference on the western side of things. Carroll College is playing at Simpson, California. Or did I say Carroll? It's College of Idaho. Hello. Purple's just throwing me off. College of Idaho leading Simpson 38-7. That one is in the fourth quarter. Again, that one is in California as well. Rocky beat Valley City 31-21 in an Eastern battle. Let's see, what other games do we have as I look down through the...
Carroll's at Arizona Christian, but I don't think that game kicks off till 8 p.m. local time.
Okay, Dickinson State at Mayville right now. 40 seconds left in the football game. Dickinson and Mayville are tied up 21-all. So that one is in Mayville. And as I continue down, let's see if I can find any others. Looks like Western is beating Southern 20-7 so far. That one in the first half. And that might be it. As you mentioned, Carroll is at Arizona Christian. And that one will kick off later on tonight.
Okay. Western's playing good football. I mean, they really are. They probably got the premier quarterback in the conference, Plandry, and playing really good football. You can tell they left here with a bad taste in their mouth in that opener, but that just shows you the great start to this year this Montana Tech football team has had, and you know how consistent they've stayed. And obviously, you touched on it earlier. They have not trailed in a football game yet this year, which is amazing.
Yeah, 28-7 our score. We're at the half. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. We'll take a break. We're back here to the Mining City after this. Hey, welcome back once again as we are at the half. Montana Tech up 28-7. Frontier Conference East matchup as Dakota State in town taking on the Digs for the first time in football history. These two teams throwing down. So you talked about that idea of going into the locker room sometime at half when you were like, we game planned poorly. We did not go the right direction. Talk about what they are talking about, in your opinion, in the locker rooms right now. We'll start for Dakota State. What are they going to come out and try and get going in the second half?
Well, they've obviously got to try and find some answers running the ball a little bit, too. Now, they're going to be under the gun. They're down 3 scores. And so they're going to be probably forced to throw the ball a little bit more. You can see some adjustments they've made in pass protection. I mentioned a dead T tight end with trips to the side, giving Hedrick one side of the football to look at and keeping a tight end for pass protection. So he has maximum pass protection. That way, that's like the number one way you can security blanket a quarterback is let him know he has maximum pass protection so he can get a look at some route, so first read, second read, third read, that kind of stuff. So they're going to be working on some pass protection stuff, maybe moving, into the running game just a hair. And defensively, they're just talking about, hey, guys, make plays. We're stopping them by and large. We're just giving up big plays. We're getting kind of out-athleted at the ball. And in Montana Tech, defensively, I think they're probably in there talking about how they can get maybe a little more pressure on Hedrick without having to send, more than maybe one linebacker, and staying in coverage, because there's been a couple times on some of these bigger plays that the Trojans have had on offense. They've just caught Montana Tech just in bad coverage situations, and they've exposed it a couple times. So Montana Tech's going to want to clean that up, and I would think maybe keep more guys in coverage, but dial up some pressure packages to see if they can't get Hedrick a little more uncomfortable there. And then offensively, just clean up the penalties and start moving the ball on the ground a little more consistently.
So the non-conference side of the Frontier Conference is behind us. Now I ask you, what surprised you? What jumps out at you? What surprised you about the non-conference side of the Frontier?
I'm very surprised Montana Tech's 5-0, and I guess after watching them play, I'm really happy with the work they put in and all that stuff, but they ran a pretty good gauntlet of teams. Western, Carroll, College Idaho, Southern Oregon, Rocky. That's an really impressive resume, and to come out of that 5-0. So that's probably the number one surprise with me. Other than that, just looking, it looks like Arizona Christian's improved a little bit, and Simpson's improved a little bit. Some of the teams that really struggled last year. But
on that said, you can say the same with Northern. It feels like Northern, especially defensively, it feels like the Lights defense is legit.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten a look at Northern yet, so I really can't base any opinions. But you know what I was surprised by, just like Dakota State, I must have had confused with somebody else over there, one of those other schools, because they've got a fierce rivalry with Dickinson State. I didn't ever know any of that.
Okay.
And then after watching them play on tape, I was largely impressed by them. I thought they were fairly vanilla on offense, fairly simple. They get in a lot of the same sets Montana Tech does, the multiple tight ends, wing-backed H-backs, but they do very little shifting, very little motion. And, it's fairly, I'd call it, a fairly simple offense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm impressed. And frankly, I know there's 28 points on the board, but by and large, I'm pretty impressed with their defense, too. I liked them on tape. I like how they play up front. They've just been exposed in the secondary a little bit, but they're good end-to-end in that defensive front and at middle linebacker. They're as solid as probably any team in the conference.
28-7 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Dakota State. Frontier Conference action on a Saturday. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back with the start of the second half, ladies and gentlemen, after this. Welcome back once again to the campus of Montana Tech. Frontier Conference football on a Saturday afternoon. The first matchup between the OREDIGGERs and, of course, the Trojans out of Dakota State. As the Digs up 28-7 here at the half. Again, quick rundown of the numbers. Montana Tech, 34 offensive plays, 370 yards. On the other side, Dakota State's 36 offensive plays, 195 yards, looks like Dakota State 5.4 yards per play, and Montana Tech 10.88 yards per play so far in that first half. And as Ron Haskett mentioned, you go in and you talk about the idea that Dakota State's given up some big ones. I mean, that's really kind of what it boils down to. But you look at that one really long drive for Montana Tech. Dakota State's defense was solid that whole time. It's just the big plays, and we'll see if Tech is able to keep those up in the second half, or if Dakota State is able to put the brakes on them a little bit.
Yeah, and you got to be timely. You got to be willing to drop back and throw the ball on first down. Both sides of the ball, both offenses. You just have to be willing. Everybody's got their identity, right? But sometimes you just kind of go off script a little bit. Receivers love it. Quarterbacks love it. That's when you see guys wide open, big plays. But, it's just one of those deals. You just got to take some chances and keep the defenses from pinning their ears back all half.
Sorry, I thought somebody came in and swiped my rosters. I was getting mad there for a minute. I thought maybe John Wick was like, I'm taking your chicken nuggies and your roster, and I'm out of here. Man, you just can't trust that guy. Love him to death, but you just can't trust him,
Tech will get the ball here to start the second half. I didn't see which direction. I would imagine Dakota State will want the wind for the fourth quarter.
And talk about that, because you and I have talked about that a lot, where do you, as a pass happy guy, you like to have to work into the wind rather than with the wind, correct?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
Right? If it's really, really windy, of course not.
Okay.
But if there's 5-8 mile an hour wind, I love throwing the ball into the wind, especially like the deep ball into the wind. I don't know. It just seems like, to me, it's completed more. It's There's a better feel for it. But that was just me, and there's probably 99% of the world out there telling me I'm crazy. But I liked. If I like to throw the ball downfield, I always like to throw it into a little bit of a breeze. Yes.
Well, I'm always learning. I learned yesterday in my interview with Hayden Decons for the Roll Diggs podcast that he likes the Four Seasons. I'd never heard anybody say that before. So
you mean the Four Seasons Arena?
Yeah.
Oh,
about that.
I can see it once you get on the court.
Watching there is just horrible. That's and of course, look at me. I did not play at Four Seasons Arena.
I will say I like the lighting and I like the court. I just, there's just some unfavorable spots in there.
The fact that you're 20 lanes of a track away from the floor?
Yeah.
So we will get ready to go here in the second half as the Trojans will kick off to the Digs.
The truck and tractor pull people love it.
Okay. Solid. And the kick is away. Low line drive. Hops to an up back. Big hit delivered. But a nice job holding on to the rock. Montana Tech football out at the 37-yard line.
That is just crazy. Who is that? Number 1. Wow. That is guts. That's Ezekiel Battle coming up and hitting return man from Montana Tech.
Caleb Novak.
265, 265.
Yeah, let's compare here.
And
Battle is 5'10", $155.
And he ran 100 miles an hour into him.
And Caleb Novak is one of those dudes that is like chiseled out of stone. He is solid. First down and 10, Wilson out of the shotgun. That's Derek Pierce in motion. Play action. They're going to run the screen out to Torgerson. Torgerson, little blocker out in front of him. He's out to the 42-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 6.
That's a wrinkle we really didn't talk about. You're struggling to run the ball. Just extend your run game into your bubble screen game or your tunnel screen game. Good decision there on first down.
We did
out of
see
the locker room. Sorry.
No, you're okay. We did see it a lot last week at the College of Idaho. And then College of Idaho went to it because they just couldn't get anything going between the tackles and, started to swing the ball out to the edge. Second down and 4. Jared Wilson moves Milanowski to his right side. Play action again. Pass is caught out across the 50, down to the 46-yard line of the Trojans.
That's Kostelec.
There you go. So Kostelec will get the catch, and Montana Tech will move the chains. Cohen Kostelec, the redshirt freshman out of Kalispell.
Really nice move when he received that ball. Just you talk about the shift in the Trojan receiving core once they catch the ball. That was a nice move by Kostelec.
First down and 10. Jay LaProuse obviously wasn't let out of the house today, so he's texting me. First and 10, ball at the 47-yard line of the Trojans. One back, trips receivers. Jared Wilson continuing to throw the football well. Deep ball left side, one-on-one. He has a man, and that one is bobbled and dropped. Good coverage, good route. And that was just a good battle, honestly, down the sidelines.
That's just Michelotti, one-on-one. That was good coverage.
Yeah.
Eyes to the quarterback, just step for step with Michelotti.
So that'll bring up second down and 10 here. They look to the sideline for the play call.
Tim Halber. Oh, excuse me. That's not Lane Deutsch in coverage. 18.
Second and 10. Torgerson goes in motion. One back. Two receivers wide right. Three-step drop. They're going to drop it off and all alone as he drops it to his back out of the backfield, and Milanowski is just out in open territory.
That's what you wanted on the goal line down there. That very play. That's a good piece of coaching, Paul.
Milanowski just so good with the hands here. He clears out. And that will move the chains down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know what. Getting back to Wykees Johnson, I don't think he's 100%. I don't know if as long as you got a 3-score lead, I don't think you see him in the second half.
I would agree. And they were going to run counter to Milanowski. Milanowski still finds a lane. He's on his feet across the 20. Gets hit at the 17-yard line. That's a great bit of running by Milanowski.
That sprint draw. Speaking of LaProuse, we used to run a lot of sprint draw because we used to run a lot of rollout. Our 80 game was rollout pass, but we did it from under center. It looked way less wanky from under center than it does out of shotgun to run sprint draw. I mean, it didn't look real smooth, but it was a successful play. It picked up 8 yards.
Will you give us a definition of wanky, please?
No.
One back, 4 receivers. Wilson puts Milanowski out on the edge. Middle screen, pass complete to Torgerson. Torgerson across the 10, stiff arm, and that's where he will go down. So the Digs looking at first and 10 from the 11 as they're inside the Case IH red zone.
See him withdraw that stiff arm. He didn't want to get another face mask.
Boy, that's a great throw and catch. Torgerson gets the edge. Good blocking out in front. Montana Tech really going deep in the playbook here, seeing a whole lot of different looks offensively.
How many catches does Levi have?
Levi Torgerson, 6 catches, 140 yards. 2 receivers left. Milanowski stays in the backfield. Milanowski gets the carry, and he'll plow his way down to the 6. That's going to be a gain of 5.
Yeah, you just kind of got to get used to that. It's these guys are layered. They're experienced in the defensive front and at linebacker. They're physical. They can shed blocks. They're going to be tough to run the ball against. So, be happy with your 4 or 5 yards and move on.
11:22 left to play here in the third quarter. Montana Tech looking at 2nd and 6.
I'm going to bet my paycheck that Tel Arthur ends up in the backfield here. There we go.
Okay.
They had him out at slot back.
Not going to give him the ball? What are you trying to say? Wilson, play action, puts on the brakes, gets away from 1. He's going to run inside the 5. Touchdown, Wilson. Jared Wilson with the scramble. He'll take it in for the score. And Montana Tech, that is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Digs will extend their lead.
Isn't it amazing? Just the simple, rather than try and outrun people, just the simple north-south action out of a good athlete, how quickly he's putting pressure on the defense here.
Take a look here at the Case Construction instant replay. That move right there.
Yes, right now. He sees it. He's in.
Yep, he's able to get the acceleration to make his way down.
They didn't have to hit him so hard in the end zone.
So the kicking unit is in for the PAT. Montana Tech scores on the opening possession of the second half. The PAT is up, and Montana Tech is up. 35-7 our score. The Digs up over Dakota State. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. With the timeout, we'll take one. We're back here in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Reisig, an orthopedic surgeon here in Butte, Montana with specialty training in foot and ankle. I chose orthopedic surgery because I get to actively help my patients enjoy their lives. The human body in general is just really amazing. The way everything works as a unit, the way the bones, tendons, muscles all work to function and just make people move is something that I've always found incredibly fascinating. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a patient get better because of the work we did together.
Back here once again as we got the rebuttal from Jayla Prowse, Hall of Famer at Montana Tech.
Oh, he had to use somebody else's rebuttal. He couldn't think of one on his own.
He obviously didn't get the hall pass to come to a football. I mean, he was here last week, which, I mean, one is way more than we normally see him. I was shocked.
He's got 2 active boys. He is going to be busy for the foreseeable future. Trust me.
It is. 35-7, Montana Tech with the lead. The Digs. 8 plays, 63 yards, 7 points. Tech has run 42 offensive plays for 433 yards. Jarrett Wilson has thrown for 264 yards, completing 14 of his 20 attempts. 2 touchdowns. The wind. Boy, really, honestly, I didn't even notice until it blew it off the tee. The wind's really starting to pick up here out of the northwest. Flags are starting to rip here.
Well, from what I've heard, it's blowing in 6 inches of snow. So,
boy, that's exciting. So I should probably bring my motorcycle in the garage. Is that what you're saying? Kicking unit. And the kick is away into a heavy wind. The return will start at the 2. Coming left. Across the 20, 25. Cut back at the 30, 35. Down the sidelines. And out of bounds out near midfield. Nice return that time as coming out with it is Keene. So Keene with the return, Montana Tech.
Really good return on 50 yards.
Yeah, a really nice looking return.
Oh,
they'll say he stepped out at the 46.
They had him out at the 46.
Still outstanding return. And the Trojans.
If any unit on this whole football team has been lulled to sleep this year, it's kickoff cover.
No joke.
Baranowski's kicked everything into the end zone for the most part.
1st and 10 here. As Trey Heddick at quarterback. Heddick stands in the pocket, pressed up. Now he's going to try and release. Drops it off, throws that one too far out in front of his intended target. Looking for his tight end, Owen Heath. That'll fall incomplete.
Good job up front. Little game. Yates and Anthony Oakes, Umale, Wyatt DeVos, all having great seasons. You know what I like about that defensive front this far is nobody's been banged up.
Very clean.
They've all stayed really healthy this year. That's good. And that's a credit to, having probably 8 able bodies to mix in, but they're staying healthy.
2nd and 10, Heddick looking to his right, pass complete. That's going to be a gain of 3 as the quick hitter to the outs.
Montana Tech brought a little delayed pressure that time. Kovic looping around up the A-gap.
Reception that time by Ford. Malik Ford, a sophomore from Tampa, Florida. So 3rd down and 7 here. Heddick is 8 of 21 throwing the football for 128 yards, 1 interception. He has been sacked twice. 3rd and 7, Tech brings 4. They'll rush 4. Heddick looking left, checks it off down through the middle, and that one's knocked away. Nice job defensively that time. Jace Thompson out there knocks it away, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Textbook coverage. You've heard me say it a few times. Just trust in your technique, getting the arm through the football here. Just a great play.
Great anticipation. Nice reach. 4th down. Punting unit will come in here for the Trojans.
Maybe he'll kick it to Levi.
And maybe I won't have more food. 4th down and 7. And the kick is away. Going to the sidelines. I'm guessing 35-yard line-ish, somewhere in there. Yep, they'll say just across the 35. So Montana Tech will take over at the 35-yard line.
Good field position once again.
Again, truly good field position, and the Trojans do not want to get him active in the return game, that's for sure.
They haven't kicked it within, or they haven't punted it within 30 yards of him.
First down and 10 here for the Digs.
Oh, now we got Wykeese Johnson back in the game.
There you go. So Wykeese in the backfield. Johnson right now, 5 carries, 14 yards. Blitz coming. Wykeese gets the carry. Bounces left, and he'll get 3. Bring up 2nd down and 7 here for the Orediggers. Clock running here in the 3rd quarter.
When he was banged up a few games into the season a little bit, what was it? I never did hear.
Honestly, I don't know for sure, but I would guess it was like bruising legs. Like I think he was just beat to tar those first couple games. And if I'm guessing, that's what I would say it was just the amount of hits he took in the stumps that he has for legs. 2nd and 7. 2 receivers right. Jarrett Wilson has thrown for 264 yards today. And he's going to try and add to that here. Pass complete out to Torgerson. Torgerson dives across the 45, 1st down yardage. Knowing right where the sticks are. You'd think, honestly, he had the yellow line out there like from the NFL. We don't have the money to afford one of those yellow lines. But, he just knew exactly where he needed to get.
It seems like every team, every year, you got that guy on the field that just always knows the situation. I'd flag Torgerson, kind of with that role. He's always on top of stuff. You go back to guys like Cole Salo and some of those guys, they knew kind of everything in every
Tyler
situation.
Mazzana.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I thought Muzzy was just always on top of it. 1st down and 10, 1 back, 4 receivers. Wilson looking near side, wanted the comeback route to Michelotti. That one a little too shallow, comes up incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 here for the Orediggers.
You can really tell they've gained a lot of confidence with Jarrett Wilson throwing the ball over the last 2 games, because right now in the second half of this game, they're throwing the ball way more than I thought they would be.
Completely agree. Yeah, I thought we'd have the Milanowski and Johnson show here for the remainder of this one. Johnson in the backfield, 2 receivers to the wide side. 5 guys on the defensive front for the Trojans. They'll bring 4. Pressure coming. Downfield, that one's going to go incomplete. Overthrown, looking for Michelotti. Good pressure from the outside that time as the defensive end got clear.
That was a route combination we used to run a lot of out of a wing set. They had Michelotti in tight over the tight end, just an out route and a corner route over the top of it. It's just a simple concept for a quarterback if you just want to stay on one half of the field. They tried to zip in the corner route, just an overthrow, but it's a real simple concept, but from a coverage standpoint, it can be pretty difficult if you're not in man.
3rd down and 10 here for the Orediggers. Wilson, 3-step drop. Comeback route to Torgerson. Torgerson puts his head down. He'll get 6 to the 49-yard line of Dakota State. And that'll bring up 4th down and 4 here for the Orediggers, and the punt team will come on. So Montana Tech, their 2nd punt here of the afternoon. First was credited for 37 yards.
Into a little stiffer wind this time.
Yeah, the wind has really kind of picked up here, out of the west-northwest, if you will.
Maybe they'll fake another one.
4th down and 4. AC Countsman back to punt. He's standing at the 37-yard line. Good snap to him. He has time. He booms it. Fair catch called for and brought in right at the 11-yard line.
Perfectly executed punt by Casey Countsman.
I like that as well. You saw him get the snap and look to see if there was any heavy pressure. And when he saw that there really wasn't any pressure, he kind of took his time to make sure he got good contact, and he just hammers it. So we have a timeout on the field. Montana Tech up 35-7. Frontier Conference action here on a Saturday. We're back right after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down. We will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most. Community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Welcome back as the Kiss Cam is fully underway. Ron Haskett a little bummed that you didn't get the camera on you. You all right?
I was going to lay a big wet one on you, Paul.
Well, it is Saturday.
Mic check.
First down and 10 here for the Trojans. They have 197 yards of total offense. Hedrick is 9 of 23, completing 39% of his passes for 130 yards. They've rushed for 67 yards. Hedrick sends tight end in motion. Dropping back, pressure coming, and pass caught out across the 25-yard line. Big hit delivered, but hopping up with the football. Nice reception that time by Ford. Malik Ford gets his third catch of the afternoon.
That's a tough one to miss. Not only did he not see Cole Graham chasing that play from the backfield, but... I mean, it'd be one thing if it was a cornerback that came up and blindsided you, but Cole Graham just flattened him.
First down and 10 here for Dakota State. 3 receivers left, one to the right. Montana Tech shows pressure from 4. That's what they'll bring. Hedrick airs it up, gets hit as he lets go. That one almost caught. Boy, that was into heavy traffic, and there's a flag down again.
I don't know what this penalty. He is in contact with the quarterback. I think that's Dom Umale. As he's releasing this ball, they're going to get a roughing the passer penalty here.
Jason.
It doesn't make sense to me unless they give him the full body weight thing.
The passer, number 91, defense. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Jason, can we get a look at that?
Anthony Oakes, I think they dinged. But either way,
take a look. Hedrick there. So as he throws that, I mean, there's contact right then.
That's textbook.
Thanks, Jason. Our incredible crew with the instant replay and our camera work here today.
Oh, he gave him kind of a launching signal, like he launched him, picked him up and threw him down.
They'll run bubble screen out to the right-hand side. Pass complete across the 45 and onto the Montana Tech side of the field. Going to be very close to first down yardage as they get it out to Maddox Kine. And they're going to say just shy of the first down marker. Second down and 1 here for the Trojans.
Yeah, they've done a nice job on Keeney so far today. He's, I think he was their second leading receiver or one of their top receivers coming into the game. He had a good game last week, had 5 or 6 catches.
Handoff goes to the tailback. Iverson trying to find a lane, and there is nothing there. It gets shut down immediately as Montana Tech comes flying in. Big stop.
Disheartening. One of the things about, Cole Graham maybe being slightly undersized there at defensive end, but so athletic. Tight end, or the Preston Iverson gets out there thinking he can put a move on him. He's looking at somebody that's, essentially his stature and said, I'm not getting around this guy.
Third down and 3 after a loss of 2. 5-man pressure coming. They're going to run it on the pass out to the back across the 40, shoved down to the 38-yard line. And with the pitch and catch into the hands of Iverson, and Iverson will move the chains down to the Montana Tech 39-yard line. Nice job. They released the back.
Yeah, they brought pressure that time. Weber had to come up from nickel, and it looked like he had the assignment back out and just got to Iverson a little late. You've got to know that defensively if you're Montana Tech. You just have to know that. Trey Hedrick's, probably his number one go-to is to hit the back out of the backfield. You've got to have that back accounted for.
First down and 10, 5-man pressure. Hedrick gets hammered. absolutely run through by the Montana Tech D lineman, and that is just a shot. Take a look at this here on the instant replay as Novak comes flying through and just rolls through him. Caleb Novak, the D lineman out of Washington.
Well, that one looked like it hurt.
Yep. 2nd down and 10. Montana Tech 4 up to the defensive front. Tailback goes in motion. They're going to run screen here on the near side, turning it upfield. Nice job, actually, holding that football. Finding a lane that time is Kind, and he will pick up 5. Clock running here in the 3rd quarter. Montana Tech leading 35-7. Remember, coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Montana Tech volleyball will take on MSU Northern.
A good play to come back to. That's smart coaching. They had good pressure on Hedrick the snap before, hit him as he was releasing the ball. So they're in your backfield, run a screen at him. That's good coaching. Picked up 5 yards.
3rd down and 5. Hedrick looking right the whole way. Checks it off, crossing route through the middle, behind his man, incomplete. Intended target that time was Wolf. And a Wolf unable to hold on. That's going to bring up 4th down here. The officials were... Sorry, their mannerism was almost like there was a flag down, but there's not.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some communication going on down there. But, yeah, certainly a time you have to go for it here on 4th down. See what Montana Tech does. They brought a lot of pressure on the last snap. Man coverage across the board. Now this snap, I just think they're going to stay in coverage. They've just been better when they stayed in coverage.
4th down and 5 as the offense stays on the field here. 35-7 our score. Montana Tech with the lead. Trojans at the Montana Tech 35. Dropping back, Hedrick in trouble. He'll air it up. And, boy, that's a nice effort on that football. Was it caught?
I think it was a catch.
They're going to say caught at the 29-yard line. Coming down with the football is going to be Kind again. Maddox Kind. We'll take a look here at the replay. Boy, Hedrick, as he was getting bowled over, airs that up downfield. And that is going to be moving the chains here. Let's take a look on the instant replay. Case Construction instant replay. Boy, he just falling backwards gets that ball downfield.
I think he gets Keeney gets his hand underneath the football.
That is a great catch. 2 receivers right side, 1 back, tight end in motion. Hedrick looked to his tight end. Now he's looking to escape, and he is going to go down. Sacked. So Hedrick is sacked. That's going to be a loss of 5. And we'll
Cole Graham
push him back.
Cole Graham getting in there for the sack, along with Umale. And watch Tell Arthur here come up and say, guys, don't throw him down too hard. You're going to get flagged again.
We have had a few penalty flags. 9 on Montana Tech, 3 on Dakota State so far today. And Hedrick rolls the pocket to his right. Has some room, airs it up into the end zone. Double coverage, tipped and incomplete. Nice job.
A lot of half left, but Montana Tech did have 8 penalties in the first half, and obviously something they talked about in the locker room, right?
Yep.
At halftime, just 1 here so far in the second half. One that I didn't think was a penalty either. And, you know, my word's the only one that matters.
So we've heard. We've heard. So 3rd down and 16 to go here. Hedrick is 14 of 31 through the air. He has thrown for 187 yards. He has 1 interception. He has been sacked 4 times. And it looks like... Nope. Well, it looks like our electric down marker died.
I just love what he does defensively, Montel Allen. I really do. But I'm also in the same breath praying he just rushes 3 or 4 and stays in coverage.
2:46 left to play in the 3rd.
I want my prediction to hold true here. That's all I'm worried about.
3rd and 16. And out of the shotgun, Hedrick. Trips receivers right. Tech's showing blitz. They'll back out, rush 3. Hedrick in the pocket, flushed out. 3-man rush. Hedrick is going to get sacked. 33-yard line. And a flag comes in.
What are we doing, guys?
2:38 left to play here in this third quarter. Heddick is down on the ground, also running out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting. Number 14 in the defense. That penalty is under review.
Can you give us a look at that, Jason, you mind? Take a look here at the Case Construction instant replay. Dropping back. He's got the football. Yeah.
Personal foul tackling on the defense? Kidding.
So that will bring Heddick out at least for one snap as his helmet came off, and Eaton will check in. Remember, we talked about Eaton in the pregame. Eaton has played some here thus far. Very good with the arm, better with his feet, it looks like. He completes 58% of his passes. Now another flag?
No, they're just seeing it on.
Still? Okay.
Oh, yeah, they maybe did throw. Unless did the flag ever get picked up?
Oh, that's what I'm wondering. Thank you. My man Jason is getting the replay on the jumbo here. Different angles. He still has the football. I don't understand remotely how that can be called roughing the quarterback. I mean, he's got the football.
So are they in reviewing it for the targeting?
Could be. Yep, it could be. Yep, so the white hat is down in the TDS fiber tents. They're reviewing it. And he's out quickly.
After review, the call on the field is upheld. Number 14 is disqualified for the rest of the game.
So tell Arthur the call was upheld, so targeting. So tell Arthur is done. The crowd letting him see their love for the officials. 3rd down and 10. A fresh set of downs here, and at quarterback is Eaton. Eaton puts Slot in motion. He's going to keep the football and run. Eaton head down across the 15, down to the 16. So Eaton going to get 4 on the ground. Rashawn Eaton, a sophomore out of Spokane Valley, Washington.
Heddick runs back into the game. It's nice to see he's all right after that play.
He had to sit one out because of his helmet coming off. 35-7, Montana Tech with the lead.
You can't fault the effort from Trey Heddick today, though. He's
a
lot of effort, real gamer. You can tell he's a battler.
He's thrown for a $187. He's run for 26. Heddick dropping back, looking right. Pocket holds. He airs it up into the end zone. Over the shoulder. Great pitch and catch. And that is going to be a touchdown. As coming down with that one for Dakota State is going to be Keeney. So Keeney will get the score.
Yeah, they got Peyton Gonzer here. I think a bad angle on this football. He kind of comes in a little shallow. And Eaton stayed true on his corner route right at the pylon. And just an absolutely perfectly thrown ball by Trey Heddick.
35-13, Montana Tech with the lead. The PAT is up, and the PAT is good. 35-14, Montana Tech with the advantage over the Trojans out of Dakota State. We'll take a timeout. Montana Tech's offense will be back out, ladies and gentlemen, after this.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Welcome back here once again to Bob Green Field. Frontier Conference East matchup between the Orediggers and the Trojans. The first meeting between these two teams ever. And the Digs up 35-14. The Trojans, 9 plays, 70 yards. They get their second touchdown of the afternoon. As an offense as a whole, the Trojans have run 48 offensive plays, 252 yards. Heddick is 14-31 for 187. On the ground, Iverson with 8 carries for 27 yards. Heddick has 5 carries for 26. Keeney is the big receiver right now, 6 catches, 94 yards for Keeney.
I'm real interested to see where this kick's going to go.
They have just hammered them low-line drives. And they'll spread them out. And the kick is away. Return starts at the 18-yard line, going left. Across the 30, 35, 40. Torgerson's off to the races. 40, 35, out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Levi Torgerson down to the 30-yard line, and Montana Tech is rolling.
You know, the old acronym that's sweeping the country right now is FAFO.
Yeah.
They just did it.
Yeah. That is the case. There's flags back here, though. So it looks like, are we going to get a holding on the return?
During the return, holding, number 90 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
So a holding penalty will eliminate the return.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. There were 3 flags down on the field. They looked like a kindling, looked like they were going to start a fire with them at the 30-yard line.
Stacked them all up. Montana Tech, penalties. Boy, just continue to stack them up. 35-14, Montana Tech with the lead. Jarrett Wilson, 16-24 for 277 yards today. He has also rushed for 29.
Looks like Milanowski back in the backfield with him.
Looks like that's the case. Tight end in motion. Milanowski will get the rock. Milanowski turns it up. Heads north. He's out to the 24-yard line. Pick up a 4 on first down.
Couple players slow to get up here.
Second down and 6.
Gabriel Chambliss, the linebacker, running off the field. Looked like he smashed a hand or something.
Second and 6 for the Orediggers. 3 receivers. Tight end in motion again. And Milanowski will get it straight ahead. Spins across the 25 out to the 29-yard line.
It was subtle, but a nice spin move. A hit and spin right at the line of scrimmage. He was able to keep his balance and lunge forward for about a 4-yard gain. Didn't look like that much ground was going to be there, but good effort by Milanowski.
Yeah, that forward lean gets him just shy of the first down marker. 3rd down and 1. Up to the line of scrimmage. Heavy formation. Milanowski the back.
He looks a lot like Jay LaProuse in the backfield to me.
Yep.
A lot like him.
Milanowski not going to get there. He fights his way, but he's going to lose a yard. So Milanowski, there's a wall of white in that defensive front out in front of him. That'll bring up 4th down and 2.
You got to tip your hat to the defense on that series.
And that should do us here for the 3rd quarter. With 15 minutes left to play here in this game, Montana Tech leading 35-14. The Digs more than happy to go to the other side of the field and punt with the wind somewhat at their back.
I'm not so sure I don't burn a timeout there if I'm Dakota State and force them to punt the ball into the wind.
So we will go to the 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Frontier Conference action. We are back after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Back here to the campus of Montana Tech, Frontier Conference football in the East Division, ladies and gentlemen. The Digs up 35-14 over the Trojans out of Dakota State. Paul Panisko, Ron Haskett, as we make our way through a Saturday. Wind must be getting cooler. We see everybody standing up, putting on another layer, buttoning up. I mean, even Ron Haskett has leaned down and turned the heater up a little bit.
You know that's not true. Anybody knows me knows I can't lean down anymore.
Well, and everybody knows you're tight, too, so you're never going to turn the heat up. Do you even know how to turn the heat up? Can you?
I got to take a knee.
So 4th down and 2 here for Montana Tech. Let's grab some scores here. College of Idaho, a final over Simpson, 48-7. So big win down there to California. Rocky beats Valley City, 31-21. Also in Frontier Conference action, looks like we're not together here. Dickinson State and Mayville, I believe, went to overtime. We'll dig that out in a minute. As the punt unit up and going here. 4th down and 2. Snap is good, and the kick is good.
Good
bounces at the 33. It's going to go out of bounds inside the 10. That's a big-time kick.
Going to be about 63 or 64-yard punt, no return. Well executed. Kicked it away from the returner. But, you know, I always look at Casey's just a kicker. He's on his way to an all-conference punting season.
Yeah, really having a nice year.
Unless he doesn't qualify. Like, who was it, Lowry?
Yeah, Lowry. It didn't have enough kicks forever. My goodness. All right, let me go back to the scoreboard here. Let me check. Dickinson State and Mayville show tied at 21. I thought that's where they were at a while ago.
Yes, they were a while ago.
Yeah,
it was 21 all. Yep.
That hasn't changed much here, so something's up. 4-man rush coming, dropping back Heddick. Heddick steps up. He escapes the pocket and slides out to the 12-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 2, nearly 3.
Had a little more room there to run, but Heddick, taking care of himself.
Yeah. He has taken some shots. 2nd down and 7 here for the Trojans. Heddick has thrown for 200 yards. He has run for 20. Trips receivers right, one of the lefts. Heddick trying to get him in a little bit more of a hurry up. 5-step drop. He wants the deep ball left side. One-on-one coverage downfield, and it is caught in midfield. That's a big-time catch that time. Is coming up with it is going to be Mellick Ford. So Ford gets the reception right to midfield.
Yeah, Malik Ford, he just took advantage of one-on-one. He looked out there, recognized it, and said, just trust your guy. I like that. If there's one thing I would add to Tech's passing attack is recognizing one-on-one and just trusting Snyder, trusting Michelotti.
Yeah. Hand off to the tailback. Not a whole lot of breathing room there that time for Iverson. He'll get 2. 2nd down and 8 here for Dakota State.
Defensive front for Montana Tech's done an exceptional job here today against Iverson. And the running game in general, they've busted out of there a couple times, but by and large, they've played a really good game up front, and that includes Tel Arthur and Kellen Beller there at inside backer.
Dropping back, Heddick airs it up, has a man complete across the 30, 20, and shoved out of bounds. Nice job that time as they get it out to Joey Wolf, and Wolf gets out in front of his man.
Wolf just beat Burns in one-on-one there. He didn't have a ton of room on him, but, Heddick, another ball over there in the honey hole, just right on the dot. Just a perfect throw, easy catch.
First down and 10 inside the 20-yard line. So Dakota State in the red zone. 2 receivers left, 1 right. H-back releases. Heddick looking left the whole way. He airs it up into the end zone, up and caught. That is touchdown for Dakota State. He airs it up into Ford.
They're double moving the you-know-what out of this Tech secondary. I think that was a little out and go, too.
Especially with the time it took to deliver that ball. It had to be a double move of some sort. I didn't see the first step of it.
No one's less happy to see that touchdown than Isaiah Claunch. He's down here warming up to get some mop-up duty here. And now with the score, you're more than likely going to see Wilson behind center.
So the PAT unit is up, and the PAT is good. 12:31 left to play here in the football game. Montana Tech leading 35-20. 35-21, my apologies. And we have a timeout on the field, so we will take one as well. The Digs up by 2 scores. We're back here after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Look back to the sidelines. Montana Tech up 35-21. 12:31 left to play here in the football game. As always, thanks for joining us here. I'm kind of looking around. I don't see my man Troy Sampson. Troy might be at home. He's a little under the weather this week. If he's on the stream, hope you're good, Troy. And if he's in person, even better. That means he's up and running. Life as we know it is good. 14-point lead for the Digs. That last series for Dakota State, 4 plays, 74 yards. So Dakota State right now has run 56 offensive plays for 337. We have seen a lot of snaps of the football, honestly. 56 for Dakota State, 50 for Montana Tech. And we still have a lot of this football game left.
Hopefully we see about 15 more in a row here out of this Montana Tech offense. That defense off the field for a while.
Low line drive kick. And it is tracked down at the 18-yard line. Torgerson will look for the sidelines. Nice job fighting his way out to the 30. Now a late flag again. So a late flag will come in.
And this one is never on the cover team, unless it was a face mask. Did I see a preliminary face mask signal?
See what we get from our white hat?
No. Unless it was on the...
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 31 of the return team. That's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Montana Tech's 12th penalty of the day for 175 yards. The Digs lead by 2 scores. And Jared Wilson at quarterback here. He's thrown for 277. He has 2 touchdowns through the air, has not been sacked, and has not turned the ball over. Looks like we might get a new tailback here for the Digs. As coming in is going to be Kaika Ho. So good to see Kaika in, the redshirt sophomore out of Idaho. And we're going to get a busted play here. Montana Tech, some confusion it looked like.
Montana Tech. That's their
And the
first
Digs
charge
will
time
call
out of the
a
half.
timeout.
Does Novak play offense, too?
I was going to say, it was Novak out there in motion. So they will be forced to call a timeout here. A little confusion on the field. So the Digs, as I mentioned, Kaikaho will come in at tailback. If memory serves correct, Kaika's first carry collegiately was a 52-yard score. Was that a 52-yard touchdown, wasn't it?
It was over 50 yards, yeah.
And he is certainly a guy. I mean, we keep talking to that running back room right now is really talented and really deep. I mean, when you've got Kaikaho in right now, you've got Vetter, Christian Vetter, the senior, of course, out of Butte High School. There is some talent in that running back room. And now the offense back out. First down and 10, Montana Tech, ball at their 20-yard line. Diggs have run 50 offensive plays, 457 yards. Tight formation up front. And goes in motion. They're going to run the pitch out to Kaikaho. He'll turn it upfield, spins out to the 25 to the 27-yard line. So Kaikaho will pack the rock out. That's going to be a gain of 6.
Caleb Novak must be busy during practice then, huh?
Certainly looks that way. Second down and 4 here for the Orediggers.
Boy, he's got really live feet. Ho does.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that hits full speed instantly. You know, it doesn't take him any time to get there. Second and 4, split backs. Montana Tech. Handoff, going to go this side. Trying to find the edge. Milanowski nowhere to go, and Milanowski going to get tracked down and taken down as Moses out at corner making the stop. Nice job by Moses. That'll be a loss of 1.
Good piece of tackling there. Tough guy to run with, or to run with, let alone drag to the ground. I think you got to put this ball in the air.
Third down and 4 here for the Orediggers.
So I see Martinez out there getting some snaps.
Yep.
Along with Mano Melo.
Yep. Melo.
Is that how you say that, Melo?
Yeah, out of Helena Capital. Or, excuse me, is it... Gosh, I have to look. I don't remember which Helena school it is. Helena High School. Sorry, Mel. Airs it up. Pass is caught, and Torgerson shoved out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
It's his 9th catch of the day, I believe.
That is catch number 9. $152 on the day for Torgerson. Clock running. The Digs lead by 2 scores. As Montana Tech up to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10. Ball at their 34. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they're number 2 in the country in time of possession, and they would just love nothing more than to eat up a ton of this clock. 3 receivers. Wilson looks here near side. Montana Tech, 460 yards of total offense today. 1 back, 3 receivers looking left. Pass is caught. Snyder trying to cut back, and he'll get out to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 8.
Dylan Snyder, you feel bad for him dropping that deep ball. Boy, he really looked that ball in almost, almost like you could just see the added concentration.
Second down, and we'll call it 2. Charlie Kurgan comes in. See him at fullback.
Are you following the baseball?
Well, I'm a Tigers fan, yes.
Okay.
I mean, come on,
Oh,
man.
I knew that. I
Come
knew
on,
you were a
man.
Tiger fan. You and Tom Southwick.
Yep, we're the only 2. And neither of us are mentally stable. Split backs. Handoff goes to the tailback. Milanowski ahead. He's going to get first down yardage to the 47-yard line. Good bit of running that time by Nate.
Good piece of running is right. Got what he needed. Both hands on the football.
Boy, he got small, and then he just kind of stutter-stepped looking for his lane. You know, just really nice running by Milanowski. He's up to 110 yards on the day, 1 score.
Good day, really stepped up here when, I don't know, I still don't think Johnson's 100%, but he really stepped up here today.
Blitz coming. Wilson wants to throw. Pump fake once. He's rolling to his right. Has to throw across his body, just gets rid of it. I mean, we've seen flags for that every other time a quarterback has gone down today.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, off air. Wilson's not getting the same protection for some reason.
8:53 left to play here in this ball game. 2nd down and 10.
That's smart with Jarrett Wilson. He's walking back with the
white hat.
With the white hat and talking to him. And, I'm sure he's saying probably something similar to what we just said. Am I going to get the same protection as the quarterback in white?
3 receiver spread. Dakota State brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to run back out. Milanowski has some blockers. Across midfield, spins down to the 47-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 6.
Just a quick backswing to Milanowski, letting him turn the corner. It's not much different than toss sweep.
Yeah, good bit there as they get some blocking out in front. And Milanowski able to get some good positive yards. 3rd down and 4. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Milanowski in the backfield with Wilson. Wilson has thrown for 294 here today. Torgerson in motion. Play action. They're going to run it here on the near side. Pass complete to his tight end. He gets chopped down at the 42-yard line, but that is 1st down yardage. Getting up slowly is Pierce.
Yeah, he got his legs swept. It was good to see Pierce get a ball. He's working hard in the running game all day. Haven't seen him throw the ball his direction.
He kind of comes down awkwardly as his legs get cut out from underneath him.
Been a huge part of the success of this Montana Tech team and offense through the first 5 games.
He's just a stoic dude. Yeah. He just keeps his cool, does a really nice job. He's not a tight end that is a blocking tight end, a catching tight end, like he does all aspects of the position. 1st down and 10. 4 receivers. Wilson has time, airs it up, pass complete to Torgerson, his 10th catch of the day, and this one is good for a gain of 15. Torgerson has 175 yards receiving and another 1st down.
So good in that area of the field and so reliable. I mean, he's just, he's probably caught, 100,000 balls in his life. And there's just not many people that look more comfortable receiving a football than him.
Especially if you're the starting point guard.
Yeah. Yeah, watch him with a basketball in his hands. I mean, complete control.
1st down and 10. Stacked backs, left side, play action. Wilson wants to throw. He's going to air it up down the sideline, puts it out in front of Milanowski. Good throw, honestly. He kind of puts it out there where if Milanowski gets to it, great, but no one else is going to get to it.
Tried to get Milanowski on the wheel route behind a clear by Martinez, running his guy to the goal line. I tell you what, if Dakota State, if they get a couple defenders that get their eyes to the backfield a little sooner, that ball could have been picked off. Mm-hmm. There were white uniforms in the area, but both of them had their backs to the ball.
2nd down and 10 here for the Digs. Clock is stopped on the incompletion. Wilson has thrown for 320 yards, completing 70% of his passes. He's 21 to 30.
You want to finish this off. They've already got what they needed out of this drive, but you want to finish it.
Torgerson gets chopped down, and there is a flag down. It's going to be a loss of 3 on the carry as Torgerson.
Probably going to get a hold here.
Torgerson taken down.
Holding, 66 offense.
And it is a holding call against the Digs. Penalty number 13 today for Montana Tech.
I don't think I take that penalty. I think I decline it. They're gonna walk off the yardage.
Dakota State is going to decline.
Yeah, there you go. So they do decline it.
Yeah, they decline it.
Yeah.
And then they misspot the ball, knowing that Torgerson did lose yardage on the play. So now I think you're 2 down territory here for your Montana Tech.
Agreed. 3rd and 12. Wykees Johnson back in at tailback. Michelotti split wide left. Torgerson in the slot left side. And Dylan Snyder all the way up top. Michelotti in motion.
You're going to get pressure here. Nope.
Wilson stands, delivers downfield. Caught by Torgerson at the 17-yard line.
Just so good in there. This isn't an easy catch.
Well, exactly. Take a look at this. He just goes out and spears it. Watch him pull this ball in.
He just makes it look easy. That is an easy catch. Yeah. Guy's already on his hips.
12 catches for Torgerson. And a huge day here as an Oredigger. Montana Tech leading by 2 scores. And Montana Tech inside the Case IH red zone. They honestly haven't been in the red zone much today. Their early scoring all coming on deep shots.
He keeps this up. Jarrett Wilson's going to go home with a new tractor.
Hand off to Johnson. Wykees, nice job keeping the feet moving. He's down to the 13.
Or at least a golf cart.
And a flag comes in from all the way on the other side of the field. A sideline warning of some sort or violation.
And unsportsmanlike conduct on the Dakota State bench.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Trojans.
Automatic first down.
I don't know what they have to complain about over there. Tech's got all the penalties.
That is their 4th penalty of the day. Yeah, that came all the way over from the linesman on the far side. So, yeah. That'll bring up 1st and goal. Montana Tech at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Inside Case Construction, or the Case IH Case Construction red zone. Play action. Wilson drops it off. He has Johnson. Case Johnson in for the score. 41-21. Montana Tech with the lead. Nearly a 6-minute drive finishes in a score.
How many plays?
12 plays, 51 yards. And actually,
that was
almost
a well-thrown
7 minutes.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball. That's the one I told you that he's kind of struggled with a little bit at times this year.
So the Digs will bring in the kicking unit for the PAT. That is a monster. 41-21 our score. 11 plays, 51 yards, taking 7 minutes off the clock. It started at 12:23. And the kick is up, and it is good. 42-21, the Digs up over the Trojans. Frontier Conference East action here on Digger Vision. We have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one as well. We're back here after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Reisig, an orthopedic surgeon here in Butte, Montana with specialty training in foot and ankle. I chose orthopedic surgery because I get to actively help my patients enjoy their lives. The human body in general is just really amazing. The way everything works as a unit, the way the bones, tendons, muscles all work to function and just make people move is something that I've always found incredibly fascinating. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a patient get better because of the work we did together.
Welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. The Digs up 42-21 as Montana Tech takes almost 7.5 minutes off the clock as they go 11 plays, 51 yards, 7 points. And right now, just rolling. 61 offensive plays, 508 yards. On the other side, Dakota State, 57 offensive plays, 355 yards. So fast approaching 900 total yards here combined. As you mentioned earlier, down here warming up for Montana Tech is Isaiah Clonch, junior out of Billings.
Yes. Dad's in the press box up here. Just ran into my old quarterback. Always good to see Kane. He's helping out with that Billings West staff for the last, I don't know how many years. Getting a taste of coaching. Maybe now you'll understand what such an a-hole to him, huh?
I knew you were going to put it on him somehow. I knew you weren't going to take any personal responsibility in this scenario.
I never do. It's a weakness.
The return right to the goal line and out across the 20, 25, 30, 35, still on his feet, 45, 50, but we have a flag down back at the 14-yard line.
Blatant block in the back early in that return.
So again, thanks for joining us here as the Digs taking on the Trojans, Frontier Conference football.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 22 of the return team.
So a block in the back.
Spot of the foul, first down.
We'll come back here again, when this is done, we'll scoot out of here somewhat quickly and get up to the Hyper. We have a volleyball match scheduled for an hour away. As a Montana Tech and Northern, a little homecoming volleyball match.
How's Northern?
Good. Honestly, they are. They're not real deep. They don't have a real deep squad. I want to say it's like 11, 12 gals, but they're playing really well. They were far and away the scrappiest team that I have seen this year. First down and 10 here for the Trojans. Hedek out of the shotgun, in the pocket, escapes, looking to his left, airs it up. One-on-one coverage downfield, overthrown, incomplete.
Step for step, Lowry with his receiver. That's Keeney again. Really exploded on this Tech defense here in the second half.
Second down and 10 here for the Trojans.
It's kind of funny, the last game I did, remember, we didn't really even say Lowry's name, and it's like they went after him all day long.
Yeah, yep.
Tell you who's been impressive, too. Haven't talked about him a ton, is River Wasson here down the backup to Christian Hansen. Big shoes to fill, and he's done a nice job here.
Hedek is 18 of 37 for 288 yards here today. Tech showing pressure. They only bring 3. Hedek crossing route, and that one a little overthrown. Looking for his man that time, Jovi Wolf. Wolf got one hand on it, but was unable to bring it in.
Yeah, it was tough. He could have went up with both, but he would have really exposed himself. And you can see his eyes were wandering a little bit there, expecting maybe a shot to the rib cage.
Third down and 10 here. As up to the line of scrimmage, Hedek. He's thrown for 288 yards today, run for 23. One back, trips receivers to the wide side. Montana Tech brings pressure from 4. Handoff to the tailback goes nowhere. Montana Tech smothers it as Iverson gets the rock. And he'll maybe even lose a yard there. That's going to bring up 4th down, and the punting unit will come in here for the Trojans.
Easy to fall asleep there defensively, you know, assuming they're going to throw the ball, but Kovic stuck to his reads there at linebacker. Not fooled one iota by the draw play there, just right in to Preston Iverson's gut.
Clock running here in the fourth quarter, 4:10 left to play.
Kovic's playing good football, really good football. He's really active.
That linebacker unit is really having a nice year. Snap a little low. Tech gets pressure. End-over-end kick. Fielded at the 38-yard line. Torgerson down the left wing. Little head fake down to the 25. He's so good.
I wish we could just have a camera on his face, you know, the whole time. Just to see the looks he gives. And
3:54 left to play. We just saw him warming up. Will we see Isaiah Clonch possibly in here, quarterback?
Yes, you will.
Okay. So out they come, Clonch.
You know, he went to Carroll College out of high school and made the transfer here, and has just fell in love with this locker room and this culture around here. He said, you know, his dad tells me he's really, really happy here.
Clonch is going to keep it himself. He's across the 20, down to the 17-yard line. They brought man in motion, the one, the only, Cole Worley.
Happy for Cole to get in there.
Speaking of guys that just get after it every day.
But the thing about the football, you know, there's a lot of course, players, and not everybody gets to play, right? And it's unfortunate. That's why I mentioned seniors holding off those underclassmen over all them years. You know, it's not a birthright to come up here and play. I mean, he's put in the work, you know, but
Clonch
it just hasn't worked.
Spins out. He's across the 15, down to the 12.
Got the first down.
So Clonch will get the first down. Nice bit of running by that young man. Take a look at the instant replay here. Watch the spin move as he gets out of it and then makes his way to the sideline.
But getting back to Cole Worley, the culture, he just loves the culture. He loves the locker room, likes to practice, likes to work out. And so, you know, he gets to come in here and get a few snaps here at the end of this ball game.
Now, fake the play handoff. Clonch keeps it himself. He's across the 10 to the 9. Christian Vetter, the deep back. Speaking, all of that applies to Christian Vetter as well.
He's already ran the ball.
Montana.
He's already ran the ball for the Orediggers more times in his career than Kane did, I think.
I'm not going to say a word.
I'll tell his dad that when I leave here.
Well, I assume that they have the TV on down there, so he's probably going to come down here and smack you around. 2nd down and 7 here for the Digs inside the Case IH red zone. 1 back, 1 receiver each way, twin tight left. Hand off to Vetter. Vetter's got daylight. Christian Vetter is going to take it to the house.
All he does is score touchdowns. Rivers' first carry was about a 9-yard touchdown.
Gosh, you just can't help but feel just elated for that kid. So Christian Vetter will get the score. Boy, he just takes 1 bounce. Great blocks out in front, and Vetter will take it in for the touchdown. And the sideline erupts for Christian.
You bet.
All of his running backs are there giving him some love, and the kicking unit is in. Montana Tech leading 48-21, and the PAT is money. 49-21 our score. Montana Tech up over the Trojans out of Dakota State. As we make our way through the evening, again, I brought it up earlier. We have volleyball coming your way in less than an hour. As that one will get started, Montana Tech taking on Northern up to the Hyper. And we'll have that for you as soon as I get all our stuff packed up and hauled across. And
do you use the same stuff?
This, and then my cameraman will use the cameras that are all around, and it'll be interesting. There's going to be a few expletives, I assume, being thrown around, and I'll probably trip and halfway die on the stairs.
I'm going to come up to the gym with you. I know Havers coach pretty well, so.
Okay. Let's see if we can get up-to-date scores here. So something must happen here, because other games are advancing, but Dickinson State Mayville still shows fourth quarter with 41 seconds left. Let's see. We told you earlier, College of Idaho beat Simpson 48-7. Down the list, Rocky got a win at Valley City 31-21. What else do we have here?
Yes, there's some storm activity there.
Is there? Okay.
But nothing red.
Okay.
You know, I don't see much. Maybe a little bit of lightning. That could be a lightning delay. How long's it been stuck with 41 seconds left?
It feels like a while. Western leading Southern 30-14. That one is in Ashland. That one's 11 minutes left to play in the third.
Ooh, that was hit.
And it gets hammered through the back of the end zone. And again, Carroll College and Arizona Christian. Oh, I just got Dickinson lost in triple overtime. Ooh. So Dickinson losing in triple overtime. Thank you. Again, Carroll and Arizona Christian will face off later on tonight. 2:08 left to play here in this one. Again, they'll take a snap. Remember, there is that 2-minute timeout.
You're going to see Eaton in here at quarterback.
There you go. Eaton coming into the ball game, 21-36 for 366 yards.
Yeah, Rayshawn Eaton, 6'1", 210.
He'll hand it off to his tailback across the 25. With that carry is Livingston. Samuel Livingston, a freshman out of Warrensburg,
That's a
Missouri.
2-minute timeout.
Montel doesn't want to see any more points scored. He's still got his number ones in there. Now they're getting some youth in there. Good to see Jack Keeley, number 31, running into the football game here. He's a Butte Central product.
Yeah. Also, Prince Robertson, a redshirt freshman out of Arizona. Looks like he might be getting some reps here. Prince redshirted a year ago. Might even see some... It looks like Brett Grange possibly out as well here for the Digs.
Yeah, Grange has been a busy day on special teams.
Yep. So the Digs up 49-21. As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. We will get ourselves wrapped up and over for volleyball here in a moment. Montana Tech on the road next week at Northern. And if we're supposed to get snow tonight, I assume like a glacier is going to flow through Havre if we're supposed to get snow.
Right.
We were just earlier today, we were actually talking about the game. Was it probably, it's probably been 9-10 years ago, Montana Tech at Northern. It was like the second week of September, and the heavy, wet snow came down as we were driving up.
Like a foot of it, wasn't
That was
there?
nuts. And it was like, it's like September 10th or something like that. It was just insane. So the spark of the game.
Yeah, that rain and snow isn't supposed to start until the middle of the night, so that's good.
2nd down and 6 here for Dakota State. Montana Tech looking to go to 6-0 on the young season. More importantly, 1-0 in the Eastern Frontier. Dakota State will go to 3-2 overall.
Wide receiver number 14 in the game for the Trojans, 6'6", 170 pounds. Grant Vandenhull.
Quarterback keeps it himself, and he is able to jump free and out to the 34-yard line. Good run by Eaton. He's a sophomore out of Spokane Valley, Washington. Transfer from Lincoln College in Missouri. 3rd down and 1. Clock running. 100 seconds remaining here in this one. And so Eaton brings him up again. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Eaton going to run it again. Makes a move, gets hit hard. That's a nice tackle. Wow, just right up the gut and absolutely blowing it up.
That's Cason Smith, 6 foot, 200-pound freshman.
Boy, beautiful form tackle. Hello. That's a big-time shot. Or was it Fettis?
Well, I don't know. I thought 59? It was 89. Oh, it was 59. Okay.
I'm thinking it's Fettis.
Yeah, Asher Fettis. Yeah, he looked a little taller than 6 foot, actually.
1st down and 10. Hand off to the tailback. Able to get some second life out across the 40 to the 43. Keeps pushing and shoving, and he'll pick up 7, nearly 8 on the carry. Clock down to 42 seconds.
Going to see one more snap here. Running into the game. That's safety for the Orediggers. Kyler Ellerton, 6 foot, 190-pound redshirt freshman out of Bozeman.
So the Digs are going to start 6-0 and overall 1-0 in the eastern side of the frontier. 2nd down and 4. Eaton awaiting the snap. Play action. He's going to throw. Pass is just behind his intended target. It's tipped and incomplete. Jovi Wolf got a hand on it, but a defender all over him as well. Clock stops with 13 seconds.
Kind of good. You know, that Jack Keeley, of course, a former Butte Central quarterback, and I think he played in the secondary at Butte Central, but he's just grown up and gotten big, and he's athletic and fast, and they got him at inside linebacker here at Montana Tech. Getting some good snaps here.
3rd down and 4. Yeah, reps are, you can't mimic reps. I mean, you can do anything you want in practice, but it's not the same.
You want to talk about a guy who's well-liked by his teammates.
Hand off.
School here.
Nice run out to the 42-yard line on the Montana Tech side for Livingston. As the clock will stop for a moment, they'll move the chains. And then this one will go into the record books. They will not take a snap. 49-21, our final. Montana Tech will get the win over Dakota State. The first time they have ever played, and the Digs will get a huge win. They go to 6-0 overall, 1-0 in the Eastern Frontier, and just a well-played football game on both sides of the football here. Give us your rundown, brother.
Well, I like the second half adjustments out of Dakota State coming out. Certainly, they didn't certainly lay down or anything like that. They threw the ball. I liked Heddick's poise all day. Mm-hmm. He's really a gamer. He'll mix it up. Really good effort. I thought their defense looked really solid in the second half, by and large, for the Trojans. But Montana Tech, they certainly had half, but when they needed a nice long drive that ended in 6 points, they got it. And there's been a few moments in this season this year where that's kind of been the case, and they've really answered the call by and large.
Agreed.
So I liked what I saw there. Of course, Wilson's really, he's growing up before our eyes, and he looks really good, and he looks comfortable, and he's being trusted to do more stuff. They're certainly throwing the ball more. And what more can you say about Levi Torgerson? He's just
huge day.
Just an anchor on that offense, so reliable, and they're getting the good, consistent play out of the backfield. There's a reason you can just sit there and talk about everybody because you're 6-0, right?
Yep.
So that generally means everybody's playing well. So, And hats off to the coaching staff. You know, the head coach will get a lot of the praise here, but position by position, unit by unit, going into special teams and the success they've had there. They're just doing an outstanding job. They spend a lot of time together. They certainly all get along. They're like family to each other, and it really shows. They got great culture going on up here, and a great locker room. And it helps to be 6-0, but that's a chicken or the egg thing, right?
Yep.
So, this is leading to. You're replacing 26 seniors, and I will not stop talking about that because what they're doing up here this year is amazing to me.
Well, let's run you through the final numbers here as we put this one to bed. Dakota State will run 66 offensive plays, 388 yards on the evening. Montana Tech, 68 offensive plays, 555 yards of offense for Montana Tech as they wrap it up. 26 first downs for the OREDIGGERs. And again, the big one, penalties. 12 penalties, 175 yards for the OREDIGGERs. Individually, Jarrett Wilson goes 24 of 34, and he throws for 336 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, was not sacked here today. Jarrett Wilson, a gem, honestly, completing 71% of his passes. Torgerson was 1-1 for 5 yards throwing the football. On the ground, Milanowski, 14 carries for $120. He had 1 touchdown. Wilson had a rushing touchdown as well, 5 carries for 32, and Wykees Johnson, 7 carries for 21 yards. Receiving the ball, Torgerson, 13 catches for $185. Michelotti, 3 for 84. Milanowski, 2 for 26. Again, 4 touchdowns through the air. Torgerson had 1 receiving. Michelotti had 1. Johnson had 1. And, of course, Jarrett Wilson had 1 from Torgerson. So Montana Tech, 68 offensive plays, 555 yards of total offense.
Great day for that offense, and they're getting deeper and deeper into that playbook.
Yep.
Getting into the gimmick stuff. We've seen them fake punts and the Philly special they ran today, and Torgerson, a couple touchdowns on the year on the end around. Having a lot of fun playing this game, and most importantly, they're winning.
40. Oops, so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. 49-21, our final. Montana Tech will get the win over Dakota State. Thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision for the first game of our doubleheader. We have a volleyball match coming up in too short a time. So as always, thanks for joining us. For Ron Haskin, I'm Paul Padisco and my great crew. I thank you, and we will see you inside the gym here in a little over half an hour. Take care.